You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
I was checking to make sure the backup recorder was going. I like that. Is the backup recorder going? There we go.
It sure is.
Thank you. Are we on USB audio codec?
Yes.
All right. Now I can focus.
Well, welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's Tyler and Dave and Ian play old games. Today, we are talking about...
Leeds finest.
Yeah, Leeds finest. Todd... What is David Cross's character who says, I live in Leeds?
Todd Margaret.
Todd Margaret.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because I thought the same thing when I saw Leeds on the title screen for Clue. I was like, I want to get some Muscle Thunder?
Muscle.
Was it, what was
Thunder,
it? Thunder Muscle.
Thunder Muscle.
What is it that Roland flips around? Oh, a saucy.
So, yeah. I forgot about that. Today we're going to be talking about Clue for the Super Nintendo and the movie.
The
bonus movie content.
That's what I'm going to contribute the most.
Yeah, probably going to be the bulk of the content. And that's not our fault. I feel like that's just... Spoilers, the video game Clue is the board game Clue.
On Super Nintendo.
Yep.
And I have thoughts
Hope you have
about
honest friends.
Only worse when you get to close your eyes.
I know. Okay, great. We're all going to talk about that. I can't wait.
Before that, what you guys been up to this week?
It's been a day.
Yeah, it has. I know what you're talking about.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell no.
Not this time. I hit a fucking animal on the way here tonight.
What kind? Oh, on the way here?
Yeah.
Just recently?
Yeah, about 40.
You were already
about
having
30
a day.
minutes ago.
Holy fucking shit! Not in the new.
Yeah,
baby.
the brand new car.
Fucking.
The brand new 30,000-mile car that I baby and take fucking care of.
It wasn't a deer.
No, it was.
Good.
It was like a dog, I think. The fucking thing ran right into my front tire. I mean,
or a raccoon or a capybara.
It was a big animal.
Tyler,
it
where's
was
Bella?
It was. It was way back there.
Okay.
Wasn't Bella.
It's fine.
It wouldn't have made the loud thump that it made if it had been Bella. It was big enough to destroy the bottom right-hand corner of my bumper cover. Yeah, that whole thing's just got a giant hole in it now, and I'm not going to be able to sleep until I get it fixed, which is going to cost me a shitload of money that I don't have, and I'm pissed about it.
Yeah.
I turned around, like I went ahead and turned around and went back into town to go through a car wash just in case there was like guts and stuff, because I saw parts of the animal come off. Along with
Don't
parts
like
of my car. Fuck that. Fuck it. Fuck that animal. I don't care what it was. I'm glad it's dead. Because it got what it wanted. Because there is no way. Yeah. There is no way that animal wasn't trying to kill itself. And before you people out there listening to this show say it wasn't, dang it. He's fine. Anyway, I went back and I pulled into the finish line or whatever and looked, and yeah, there's a huge hole in my bumper cover. There's no blood or anything that I could see, and the car's drivable and whatever, but I'm still really pissed about it. I babied that car, and I put a lot of work, particularly into the front bumper cover. You know, John Turley and I pulled the covers off our cars to change out our radiator fans.
I remember you telling me about that.
We got some special spray paint for the grill to like black it out, make it look fresh and nice and matte color, and that whole thing's gonna have to go now. Or I just drive it around with a giant hole, which I'm not gonna want to do.
Yeah.
So
Well, I saw a TikTok where I can get some ramen and some Bondo, and we can get you set right.
That's right. I could just put ramen on it. I didn't think about that. So there's that. That was my night.
It's going to attract more animals.
Little squirrels out gnawing on it and shit. Get.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's a shitty way to start the evening.
I mean, I had a pretty decent day aside from that, but it was just that sucked. There was absolutely no way for me to avoid it, and it's just,
dude, I've been there.
But when I went back, I turned around to come back here, obviously, and I passed it. It's dead. Whatever it is dead.
Well, yeah, if you saw pieces.
I saw pieces of my car, and I'm pretty sure
of the animal.
Well, I think I saw pieces of the animal too, but I lost a lot of my car, like a lot of that. The whole thing, the whole like corner cover piece and everything, that just all came off,
dude.
But that animal got squished.
I fucking hate it when animals do that. Like, we were on your road years ago.
Yeah.
Nikki was driving, and it's dark. It was nighttime, and we were headed. I can't remember where we were headed. We were heading like Maiden Alley or something. We were going to see a movie, and a cat just fucking out of nowhere, dude. Like, I mean, like, there is no way. She could have done nothing.
Yeah, that's how this was.
And I mean, it was just right in front, and it was so fast, and then it was like, okay,
you're dead.
That's the evening is over now.
Yeah. Yeah,
because that cat is dead.
Well, and my car sits so low to the ground anyway, and that's why it took the damage that it took. If it had been in the truck, it wouldn't have done anything.
Right.
But anyway, so aside from killing an animal that was clearly trying to die, this week let's see, what have I done this week? Not much. I got caught up on that show Reacher I was talking about.
Right, yeah.
I've really enjoyed it. It's week to week on that one because the current season is still in progress.
Oh, it's coming out weekly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I've got that, and then I started another show on Apple TV Plus called Slow Horses.
Of course,
it's a British spy thing. Gary Oldman's in it. A few other notable people. I've enjoyed it. It's dull, but I like it. It's not. I wouldn't call it exciting by any means, but I've enjoyed it a great deal.
Cool.
And then what else? I ordered a new Steam Deck.
Yes.
Which I'm probably going to have to return so I can afford to fix my car.
No, don't do that.
But yeah, I went ahead and pulled the trigger and got an OLED Steam Deck. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. By the time this airs, it will have hopefully been here. Yeah, I couldn't wait. It's one of those things, and you, Dave, you and I have talked about this before.
A lot.
It's been in my head a long time,
I
and
know.
once it gets in there, it's not coming out until I just fucking do it. I wanted it the instant I saw it, and I knew I was not going to be able to hold off, so I went ahead and bought it. I went for the 1 TB model with the special like detachable shell case, and they didn't have the limited. I wanted the limited edition one, but that's been gone for a minute.
Okay,
apparently.
I didn't know that. It makes sense. But.
Yeah, it's just neat because it has a clear case on it. It's really the only difference. There wasn't a price difference. They just had like a limited number of them.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and picked that up, and I've considered just swapping the drives out, but I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to start fresh, and I'll fucking deal with getting the emulation working again. I know what we did wrong, or what I did wrong last time, so it shouldn't take as long. Nah. But I'm excited because, from what I understand, I've watched a lot of videos about it. It gets less warm in your hand because they've redistributed the heat. Yeah. The heat dispensation or dispersion.
Still have good vent smell.
Apparently, it does. Have
Is it better vent smell?
You're not supposed to huff that.
I've heard that.
According to Valve,
I've heard that.
You're not supposed to.
They're just covering their ass.
They're saying they're what the response. Someone asked, "Is it okay to breathe in?
If not huff
smell?
vent smell, why vent smells so good?"
when they're like,
I eat ass and smell vents. Come on,
Come at-
Steve.
come
And I'm
at
all
me,
out of
bro.
gum.
they might all out of bubble gum. But I think the I'm here to eat ass
Yeah, I
and
came
smell
here to eat
vents,
ass and offense.
and I'm all out of vents.
That's how I'm gonna lead when I get home tonight.
I think it'll work. I think it'll get you in the door. I really do. But they said something like, while the smell coming from the vent isn't toxic, we don't recommend that you just breathe it in or something.
9 out of 10 doctors agree.
But and then the battery life
Don't
is
use
supposed
metal on
to.
Teflon pans and don't smell your steam ventilation.
The two things you need to know. So apparently it's got better battery life, and of course it's
Right.
got that
That's what
nice
I'm really
OLED
interested in, is that
screen.
battery life.
I am too, because I tend to play mine to the bone. Like it'll get down to
They're all
like
same. Yeah.
2% before I plug it in.
Man, and when it happens fast. Because I remember on a trip I was playing Baldur's Gate, and it was like, "Hey, your Steam Deck is about to die," and it's like, "Yeah, okay." Your Steam Deck is turning off now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So that and the pretty OLED screen and
Yeah,
stuff.
dude.
I'm looking forward to
I'm
it.
excited for you. That's awesome. I'm glad that you did it, because I know that you really wanted to do
It's
it.
been
We've
it's been
talking about
bothering
it.
me enough. Like I thought, okay, I'll let it fester for a month or two, and if I still can't stop thinking about it by the time January rolls around. So like, yeah, December 31, I was like, fuck it, honey, I'm buying this thing. I'm gonna sell my old one and pay back most of it. So I should be able to get a little bit of money for my old one.
Yeah.
Enough to cover more than half of the cost. Because I actually had some Steam money also that went towards it. So was able to do that. So I'll update next week on how that went.
Cool.
I'm hoping to get that tomorrow. And then last thing I was going to bring up was I played a bunch of Overwatch yesterday over the course of the last week, and I've been having a lot of fun with Overwatch still. I've been ranking up a little. So Unranked has a sort of a ranking system called endorsements, where you can endorse other players on your
Gotcha.
team or players on the other team if you think they did really well.
Yeah.
Like if someone got a whole bunch of healing on you or helped you. If you thought someone's performance was exemplary, at the end of the match, you can endorse two people. And that can be someone on the other team if you're so inclined. And so my endorsement level's been going up a little bit. And it's the highest I've ever seen anyone's endorsement. And you don't see their endorsements until after the match.
That makes sense.
And
Do you
I'm
see
at
the
level
total endorsements.
Well, you see, it's a number. It's like 1 through. I've only seen 5, but apparently it goes to 6 and maybe even beyond. It's harder and harder and harder to get to that, I guess.
As
yeah, because you get endorsed. You get like your endorsement level will go up because of your willingness. One of the things that gets penalized if you are a leaver. If you leave games, like if it's not going well and you just fucking drop out and leave the rest of your team hanging, because I solo queue a lot and pretty much exclusively. And if you drop out of games, that kind of counts against your endorsement level.
Sense.
And the more endorsements you give and get, the more it rises.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm at 4, and I think I'm starting to cross into the possibility of being near 5, level 5, because I'm starting to see more and more level 5s when I go to endorse the other team or the other players on my team. I'm seeing a lot more level 5s.
So it's like part of the matchmaking, you think?
I think it is, because a lot more of my games have been more fun and more fair, and I feel like I'm starting to come out of that gray area of just shitty people playing. Some of it's been crap, but like I can almost guarantee that every time I've had a shitty game, when I go to endorse, everyone else on my team is a 1 or a 2 or 3. Usually 1s and 2s are the kind of the ones that they're either new players, which is understandable, and there's not a whole lot of people playing that game, so I'm getting put in games with people that maybe aren't as experienced at it as me or whatever, or they're just shitty people, which is evident. But anyway, I'm starting to enjoy my games more because I feel like they're I feel like they're a little bit more well populated.
Good.
So
that's great.
But I played enough of that to the point where I got kind of and didn't want to play anymore yesterday. So I was going through on the Steam sale because I think it's about to end. And I found this little game called Unpacking.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
Have you heard of Unpacking?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I picked it up.
RTAJ
Is she playing it?
Yeah, she was all about it.
Okay, it's only been out for about a year, I think, maybe give or take. And it's like $10 on the Steam sale. If the sale's over, I apologize. But it's normally like $20. So it's $10 on the Steam winter sale. So I went ahead and bought it. We started picking at it last night. It's pretty neat. It's very zen.
I've heard it's really cool.
Basically, you unpack boxes and you decide where to put stuff in your room. And it starts in 1997. And then it goes to 2004, and then now you've got a bigger room, like you're going to college basically, and you're unpacking your dorm. And then that's as far as I got before I had to turn in for the night. But it'll tell you, like, it pretty much gives you the freedom to put stuff wherever you want it, but there is a place for everything. And so if you're dead wrong, it won't let you finish until you put it at least somewhere close to where it's supposed to be. And you can put the toaster in the bathtub and you'll get an achievement. It's like a achievement for putting an electrical object in a dangerous place or whatever. You get like a little sticker or something that you can use, and you can take photos of your room and stuff. But it's not exciting, but it's very satisfying, and it's a very chill, easy way to pass a few hours
Sounds
at
like
a time.
Good counter to Overwatch.
It was nice. I was able to just sort of zen out and started getting sleepy while I was playing it, and I was like, now I can go to bed. Usually if I go to bed right after playing Overwatch, I can close my eyes and it feels like my head's moving. Like I like I can still see the game etched
Quake vision.
Quake vision, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So that's a cool little game. If anyone wants to check that out, I recommend it. I thought it was neat. Easily worth $10.
I've heard great things about it,
and it's good on the Steam Deck. It is free on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, it's there for the taking. You can just play it but I bought it so that I could play it on my Steam Deck, because it's the kind of game you want to just sit on your bed and play
in bed
on a handheld. It's made for a handheld, you can tell.
Yeah.
And the controls are really easy to understand, and it's not finicky. It's a good little time waster. So Unpacking is my recommend for the week.
Cool.
You talking about what were they called in Overwatch? Endorsements?
Yeah.
They have that in Final Fantasy XIV as well. They're called commendations. So like at the end of like a dungeon run or a raid or a trial, whatever, you can give commendations out to people. You can give one out. And then usually like the tanks or the healers will get it.
Right.
Because
I tend to give it to the people who have healed the most, or if someone has just really stepped up and made a big fucking, like, you can look at their damage and see that their damage is twice the damage that everyone else did.
Yeah.
They've clearly put in an effort. I'm going to give them an endorse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually the tanks or healers will get it because they keep people alive.
Sure. Yeah.
So what I've been doing this week is playing a bunch of Final Fantasy XIV. Really sad to go back to work because it really cuts in on my Final Fantasy XIV sessions.
I didn't want to talk about the fact that I had to go back to work this week.
God. But
it was It was sad.
Oh yeah, I'm still sad
I
about
was
it. And the weekend's almost
miserable
here.
this week. I was miserable. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking be here.
Yeah.
I was off for like 9 days.
Yeah.
I forgot how to do my job. I had to spend the first half hour I was there remembering what was I doing when I left? Because I noped the fuck out.
Yeah.
On my last day before my vacation, I didn't do shit. And I just I did stuff, but then like towards the end of the day, I just stopped caring and then I left. I didn't wrap anything. I didn't make notes. I just turned my machine off and went on vacation. And when I came back, I didn't know where I had left off. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. It's just that I get less time with Final Fantasy now, and that makes you sad.
Yeah.
But I'm in the final expansion now, so I guess I'm technically current.
Yeah.
Not really. I'm like 2 years behind, but like technically current. I'm on the current expansion. And I've got Samurai to max level, so I've switched to Red Mage to get Red Mage. I figure Red Mage is like 8 levels away from cap, so by the time I get through the Endwalker content, which is the latest expansion, I'm Endwalking here. You get. I figure by then I'll have Red Mage capped as well. But going through dungeons and stuff, they're both classes, Red Mage and Samurai, they're DPS or damage dealers. So I don't get a lot of commendations, except for one time where we were in a raid. I cannot remember the raid that it was. It probably doesn't matter. It definitely doesn't matter to anybody who doesn't play the game. But at one point, you're fighting this boss that does like a classic, like stereotypical Final Fantasy move where like the battle fucking stops and then there's a cutscene that's like a summon where essentially it like zooms out and this boss like rockets you into another galaxy and you can't do anything because it's a cutscene and I type I must go, my planet needs me. And then at the end of that one I got like 4 to 5 combinations.
I love that. I love that.
I was like, all right, I think I found my niche.
Bunch of like-minded people in that raid with you. Yeah, that's fucking good shit. I love that.
Do you have anything like Refresh was from Red Mages in 11? Is there anything?
No,
or do they have a niche role like that?
No, well, they kind of have a niche role in the fact that they can resurrect somebody the fastest, essentially.
Okay.
You have to use a skill before you cast Verraise, but I've gotten a few, I feel like, I was in a dungeon the other night, and it's like, I had only gone through this dungeon once before, and it was on Samurai. This is the first time going through with Red Mage. I hadn't played Red Mage in a really long time, so I'm like rusty. I'm fucking it up. Like, it's just like, oh my God, these guys are like a well-oiled machine, and I'm like the sticky fucking cog, And it's like, well, it's a quiet run too. Some runs are chatty where people will talk, and like this one's quiet, and it's like, okay, well, probably these guys are probably fucking hating the shit out of me right now.
They're wearing their business socks.
Right. Yeah. We get to the end, we're fighting a boss. The healer dies, and it's like, it's my time to shine. And I pop that Swift Cast Bear Raise. And then it made up for all the fucking horrible shit to me in my mind. It's like, oh,
hey, this guy's all right.
I've redeemed myself. This guy who's been sabotaging the run the entire time, clearly on purpose.
So he could have this moment.
So, yeah. Man, that game's good.
Awesome.
Game's good. Other than that, still in the wolves of Kala. And
stay tuned at the end of tonight's episode for a bunch of Dark Tower spoilers. DTSs.
Probably about a third of the way through that. I'm loving it. Like McDonald's. And I'm not getting through it as fast as I got through the other books, but that is okay.
Doesn't hurt to slow down a little.
Yeah, I feel like I went through the Wastelands and Wizard and Glass like super fast.
Yeah, it's not hard to do because it's riveting.
Yeah, and honestly, drawing near the 3 too, because like that one was the one where it was just like I can't stop listening to this book. So this one's been going a little bit slower, but that's okay. That's pretty much it. I watched Clue.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
I can look at my notes and see if I did anything else. I should probably open my notes. Good reminder.
I opened mine and was like, oh yeah, I don't hardly have any.
That's it. That's all I did. Back to work. Sad. Final Fantasy Dark Tower.
There we go.
I hit all the key
Pretty good.
points. I'll send you the presentation slides at the end of this podcast.
As of today, Melissa and I have quit Monopoly Go.
Nice.
We're out. We're done. Uninstalled.
Congratulations.
I already know how
Thank
that
you.
feels. I know what leads to a decision.
Yeah.
like
Was
that.
there a conversation? Like,
Yeah, because you collect stickers, and she's been obsessed with these stickers. She got all of her first set, and now they had a new Christmas set, and she was one sticker away. And all the trade groups, she couldn't get a trade for it. All
fucking
of,
Park Place.
She got,
Yeah, they give all the West Coasters Park Place.
exactly how it is. And then, because I'm trying to help her, I finished my set, and then like every card pack doesn't give her what she wants, and they're selling the packs that will for $30 a piece.
The packs that might or will.
That will, because there's a
guaranteed.
pack that is guaranteed one card you do not have, and it's $30 fucking.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I know this means a lot to you. You've always been just get it. She's like, no, fuck that. So she didn't get it, and she was just like, I'm pissed because I did everything that I was supposed to do with this game, and I wanted to spend more money.
I've
out.
got like sympathy in my stomach. It hurts. I know that feel. I know that when you have given so much time and energy and played the game the way that you're supposed to play it, and it still isn't.
Well,
it's clearly designed to fuck you.
I mean, it's designed to make you spend money. I get
Yeah,
it,
and
but I've seen the tendrils of capitalism
Yeah.
slowly encroach
Yeah.
on it. Even the short time I've been playing it, where it's gotten substantially worse, and the benefits and the rewards are getting harder to get and smaller and smaller.
Yeah,
and smaller.
I know that. I know that, and I hate that because it's like y'all had me. I'm willing to spend a little money from time to time.
Yep.
Take a little bit of my money from time to time, or have zero of my money ever again because fuck you. I know what you're doing.
It's like they're
I'm not
only
stupid.
appealing to the whales. That's it.
Yeah, I hate that, man. I'm sorry.
That's
that
like
sucks.
all the fucking gotcha games where it's like, I mean, like some of those were like I've been playing. God, what's the big one? I'm having a big brain fart right now. It's oh my god, the fantasy anime waifu game. Fuck.
Something slow life.
No.
I see that on TikTok all the goddamn time.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it either. Oh my god! Now I'm mad.
I'm looking it up. Don't worry. I'm so mad about it because I'm like, Honkai Star Rail? Nope, that's the other game then. Genshin Impact.
Thank you. God damn it!
Okay.
Fuck.
I
That
knew
took
it.
so long.
I swear to God, I knew it, and I just could not come up with that.
But I tried that game out. I've tried the game out a couple times.
I wanted to, and
Don't.
I've talked myself out of it several
Smart.
times.
Because what I discovered is like, man, you know what I like about this game is the fucking slot machine part of it.
Yeah.
I don't like the other part. I don't like the game. I like the
You
part
like
where
the
it's
part
like,
where you-
let's see if I get a pretty anime girl.
Yeah.
Nope, I didn't. I guess try it again.
Rhea
Oh,
the Coos, roll again.
that's right. Yeah. Oh man.
This is my third Rhea.
Look, I would if they had a really super fucking like disgusting one. That is the one that I would make.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's like I get back to Final Fantasy. I get so much joy playing Lalafell, which is the Taru in Final Fantasy 14. And one of the reasons that I like it so much is because, first of all, like people like it gets under some people's skin, and I do like that a little bit. That's like appealing. Also, it's like I play like a really like I design like a Vieira, which is like a bunny person, a bunny girl. They're men too, but they were women first.
Sure.
And it's like, man, I made this character that was just like, wow, knockout. I love this. And then I got so many fucking dirty tells from people where it's like, is this what it's like to be a woman?
I think it is, yes.
This
I get it now.
All the women out in the
sucks.
audience that listen to this show are like, yep, now you fucking know.
This fucking sucks.
This is why I don't talk on games.
I'm gonna play a character instead where if I get a tell like that, they're a pedophile.
I still get just as many tells as I did before.
I'm not playing on 4chan. This is Final Fantasy 14.
I have similar thing going on. I'll run different. I've got a whole bunch of skins for my Overwatch, and sometimes I'll get in the mood to play really ugly ones or ones that are obviously super outlandish and garish and are going to draw a lot of attention. And some of them are pretty good stealth skins where you can kind of blend in with the environment a little bit or whatever. That's not generally a core gameplay tactic, but it is a thing.
Sure.
And I've been playing Overwatch since 2016, and
God,
that
makes me feel old.
I know. And there's this one skin that came out called it was for Mercy, the healer Mercy, and it's called Pink, and it was the one and only time Blizzard ever sold a skin for cash and not like game coins, because it was a donation to the Susan G. Komen breast cancer research promotion. It was like all the proceeds from the skin,
like a charity tie-in.
Yeah, it was a charity tie-in, and all the proceeds went to breast cancer research. And that's how I lost my mom. So it's like, okay, I will do. It was like $20, and it was worthwhile for me, and it was a cool skin.
Yeah.
So, but they've never brought it back ever. It's never coming back. They've said, we're never doing this one again. There might be others, we don't know, but I can guarantee you 100% that even though we've brought back all these old skins, which pissed off a lot of people, by the way. It pissed off some of the old skins that you can't get. They brought them back for new players to be able to purchase. And so it was kind of like your street cred is lost if you have this, skin that you couldn't get.
Right.
Well, I have only seen one or two other people ever rocking that Mercy skin, and it's so funny. People will either be like, "I'll if I get Mercy and I'm wearing that skin," people will either be really like, "Oh, that's cool," or mad. And like, I pissed off this one person once. They were, I was playing a Mystery Heroes game, and you can get multiple of the same hero sometimes on a team. And we're in spawn, and another Mercy was in there, and I was Mercy. And they walk over in front of me, and they've got a semi-rare skin on, and they're like doing an emote, like a dance in front of me or whatever. And at the time, I had switched to a different one. So I switched skins, and they were like, they no longer paid attention to me. They were not pleased with it. So yeah, I flexed a little
Nice.
bit. But
it's
anyway.
You can flex a little bit as a treat.
Yeah. I don't know how we got on that subject.
Yeah,
I'm
we ran
sorry.
away with that. Sorry. We were talking
okay.
you were talking about Monopoly Go.
Yes.
You're clean.
Because I finished my set, and then I sat on all those dice for the new because last time I heard people that did that hoarded their dice from their winnings to the Christmas set, and they were like done with the set immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, I'm gonna do that. So I did that, and they've changed the drop rate for stickers substantially. Like I said, I had like 45,000 dice, which is a fucking lot.
It
That
sounds
is
like a
fucking lot, and I got nowhere close. I was getting repeats like immediately.
What about Pete's?
And then
Pete's,
repeats
and
both of them.
repeats, neither one.
And I noticed on like some of the bonus wheels that you get, like they took away all the rare sticker packs, the chances for them, replaced them with like common stuff. And I was like, okay, Yeah. Now I'm definitely
New year, new us.
I told her, I was like, yeah, let's both be done and not be tempted by this game anymore. So, yep. So, done with Monopoly, go.
I'm sorry that something that you enjoyed doing.
It was fun, like
been-
sitting in
yeah.
bed together and trading
Yeah.
the stickers and shit like that was fun. But then, yeah, it just got way too fucking greedy.
It's a shame when they create something fun that you can enjoy together and then they break it
Yep.
because of greed. I'm sorry to hear that.
So, but yeah, other than that, what else? Melissa is tomorrow. She takes, well, as of the recording, she did it days ago, but as of tomorrow, she takes her NCLEX. She's been away for the last 4 days at this big study thing. They
Inclex being the drug that gives her superpowers, or it makes her a little evil.
You hold
though,
me
I've
up for
heard side
penicillin?
effects.
NCLEX?
What is Inclex as a test?
It's the test to get her RN, become a registered, like it's the final thing to get your RN.
Nice.
So they had sort of a study session at the college, but it wasn't substantial enough. So there was another program that was like 98% pass rate. So we paid the money. She went outside of, which was really weird. So she's looking at dates. She needs to get the dates for this study session. You can do it online, but she's like, I need to be in person. Online doesn't stick. I need the in person. I was like, okay, cool. Let's do it. So she found where she could do that and then immediately take the NCLEX like the next day. Mm-hmm. So the only place she could take the NCLEX the next day is in St. Louis. And then she saw, Springfield, Illinois, which was like, it's not very far, 4 hours, maybe less than that. And she's like, and then I just drive like an hour over to St. Louis or whatever. And then cool. And it turns out that Springfield, Illinois is just sometimes called Springfield, but it's also called Butterfield. And it turns out that's like 45 minutes outside of Chicago.
Oh.
So once we paid for it and registered, she goes to leave, puts in the GPS, and she is right outside of Chicago. And she is very upset.
Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, she took Anna and her boyfriend and took them to see Hamilton in Chicago as part of their Christmas present. So they got to see that and they loved that. And she did all the rest of her days. I was talking to her today because she went, we paid all this money. She went to this class. She said, yeah, it's been great. Lots of refreshing, tell me stuff, new stuff. Like it's great. It's going to help a lot. It's like, but I am by far the oldest one here. This is part of another nursing school's program. So it's all 18-year-old kids who didn't have to pay for it. It's part of their program. They don't give a fuck. So it's me and the teacher who is like 70 on the other side, and no one gives a shit. I was like, well, at least she paid you special attention. It's like, yeah, she did, because the 18-year-old kids had their little Stanley cups all talking over her, didn't give a shit. So she's done with that. She just got to St. Louis. Yeah.
Man, I can't hear that and not think about hockey. And I'm not a hockey fan.
Same.
That's how old I am. And then I
Me
have to
too.
remind myself, oh, yeah, that's a thing kids like.
Yeah.
Stanley Cups.
Stanley Cups. And that's how
On
fucked
their
up I am.
TikToks.
I don't even, you're like, oh, that is a hockey thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen so many TikToks of like, I got the Stanley Cup and it is a mug with pictures of Stanley from The Office on it.
Yes.
But so she takes
stutter?
that tomorrow. Did I stutter? She'll take that tomorrow morning.
Good luck.
Good
luck to Melissa.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll go well. I mean,
I think it'll be fine. She's very nervous about it, but she's always
Sure,
nervous
of
and thinks she's
course.
going to fail everything every time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be nervous too.
Because her teacher was like, I feel like you should postpone your test because this also comes with like 100 hours of online study material. And she was like, that won't fucking matter. Online stuff doesn't work for me. So I'm going to go do this. I was like, yeah, that's when she would spend like a week studying, it didn't stick as well as a 2-hour cram session for her right before the test.
Yeah.
That's how she did better every time in nursing school. So yeah,
That's how I
tomorrow.
did at school. I was never a good prepper, but I could panic and
she has to
cram at the
ADHD
last minute.
cram,
Yeah.
and then she's good.
Yeah, I understand
That's
that.
what I did too, but it was because I was just playing video games.
Also, because I was lazy. Yeah.
And playing D&D with
Yeah.
Tyler literally every night
Yeah.
of the week.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
Yeah, Josh failed out of college twice because of that.
I get it.
Yeah.
I got an academic probation once because of that. Let's see. So I wanted to make her happy. So while she's been gone, I've scratched off some honeydew stuff that has been on the list for a very long time.
Good
Got
for you.
a new mailbox.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
I noticed that on the way in.
Yeah.
I didn't. It's so fucking dark outside.
Yeah. I didn't
like
either.
9 times out of 10 miss your first driveway and your the second driveway.
Your front
The
porch
second one
light.
isn't as good.
It's not.
It's not.
Your front porch light was on. I didn't think I was turning into the correct driveway. It's like, wait, is this his house? Yes, it's his house. Okay.
I'm sure I've scared the dude who lives next to you because I've definitely pulled in that one before.
And then, so our ceiling fan has been busted for like well over a year now. We just have a constant dark living room. The only source of light is the TV when it turns on. That's it.
It's really all you need.
Yeah.
You got a big TV.
That is kind of all we need, but
Yeah.
she's like, oh, but, and the fan in it is like, it is straight up from the 80s.
Yeah.
So I went and bought a fan, and her dad helped me install it today. He's an electrician, so, and whenever he turns it on, the kids are like, it's weird in here now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I could believe that. Yeah.
So I got that
It's
done.
always been weird. You just couldn't see it.
Yep. Can we turn it back out? And they replaced some other lights that, because we made the lights, but they're hard to get in fixtures. But we put in 5-year light bulbs. It's been 5 years, and now it's like, fuck, it is a pain to get inside these things. So I finally did all that shit, like, because it's all like lights have been out for like years. I just don't want to fuck with it. So we have phones with camera lights on them whenever we want to get up.
Man, it
there in the
irritates
night.
the shit out of me when the light's out. Oh, it irritates the shit out of me. I hate it.
But yeah, so I'm ready to see her tomorrow.
Yeah, I bet.
So I preemptively have already got a congratulations cookie cake. So I will eat it real fast if I need to.
Hey, if you need help with that,
David.
yeah, I've switched my calories to maintenance so I can help with a little of that cookie.
And I don't
Thank
give a
you.
shit, so I'll help you eat as much of it as you need me to.
The macros in that are real good, right?
Yeah,
Because I got to keep those clean.
It's a Lydia Larry protein cookie. I'm
High
pretty
protein
sure.
cookie.
Yeah. You guys will be home in 5 minutes. We eat this whole congratulations shirt RN now Melissa cake. With its red and white drawing and nurse decorations.
You needed to have a second half cookie made, so that then the other and the second half cookie would say, "You're a great mom," and then if she didn't pass, switch out the bottom half of the cookie.
I just have to put my finger in the icing to write out mom instead of RN.
You're a mom.
Congratulations.
Why is there nurse stuff on it? They must have misunderstood nursing is about breastfeeding. You had a baby 5 years ago almost.
They wouldn't let me write the word fuck on there. So that's why there's nursing stuff.
I
on
did
it.
try that
I
one
know.
time. Yeah. They were mad.
Sorry, I didn't.
They were
that
gonna
wasn't
do it.
me. That was a joke. I was trying. That's the best joke. Sorry, you have to explain it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was
I
just.
didn't know. Did I tell that story about them
yeah,
being
oh,
mad
yes.
at me?
Oh yes, and that stuck with me. Just referencing an old Tadpog chestnut. That's all.
It's a cake that says fuck.
Yeah, that wasn't me. I asked him to write cunt. And I was like,
they
they'll do
didn't-
it in Australia.
I'm
What's wrong?
Australian. It's fine.
They didn't complain about that one for some reason. They were fine with cunt.
Could
They
you-
drew one. It was not what I wanted.
Could you write old witch's pussy on there? I'm having a gunslinger themed party.
Should we do the Dark Tower? No.
Ma'am, this is literary. Try reading a book, miss.
Oh, the Rhea the Coup special. Yeah, that's in the
That's
book.
right. Yeah. It's $30 extra. It's fine. Worth it.
We'll serve it on a pink grapefruit if that will help.
Can you make me an honest cookie?
It's just a mash of cookie you put your finger in.
Now, has this cookie been eaten already? Welcome to TADPOG.
That's the artisanal part of the show right there.
It's a 3-part Venn diagram of Dark Tower cookies and vaginas. Oh, shit. Well, do we want to do a draft?
Board game draft?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh.
Board game draft.
Clue, right? I mean, it's not on my fucking draft, but
Nope.
it might be on one of y'all's.
Not mine either. Spoilers.
Yeah, sure. I got a piece of paper right here.
I have one too that has the name of an orthodontist on it.
All right, Ian, pick 2 numbers.
4 and 6.
Dave.
19.
I asked, Roland. I asked.
5 and 2.
5 and 2. 6. So Ian, me, Dave. Ian, number 1.
I am going to pick Clue. I very much enjoy Clue.
That's a strong pick. Clue
It's a
is
good
a
game.
popular game.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time.
The last board game that I really, really enjoyed was over at Josh's house. We played that Pick Your Own Adventure.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, they've got
I will
several
do
of
the Pick
them.
Your Own Adventure board game. I went and bought one immediately the next day.
Mine are gonna be pretty traditional, and there's one game that's gonna be on my list, but I can't remember the name of it. So
We can help you with that.
yeah, you may be able to. You probably played it, but sorry, go ahead.
No worries. Yeah, mine are, I don't know. I might have a mix of traditional and then also like artisanal board games. But I'm going with Monopoly first. I mean, I feel like I have to go with Monopoly.
Not Monopoly Go.
That can't not Monopoly Go. I haven't played that one, so I don't know.
I had Monopoly on my list.
Oh, I like McDonald's Monopolies.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I live in
tastier.
California. It's been great.
Tudor fish.
I like the idea of playing Monopoly until I get about halfway through a game, and then I'm done. I think it takes too long.
But that's how I always win Monopoly. Is everybody quits?
Yeah,
It's like, I win.
Yeah, you just got to have the most stamina.
Yeah, it's an endurance match.
They don't
for
tell
sure.
you that.
I don't really honestly. There are games I much prefer over Monopoly, but I just can't let that go.
It's a great
second
game.
round pick.
No, it's a good pick.
Ian, number 2.
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
I love Yahtzee.
I don't know how to play,
I can teach you. It's super fun.
but I'd have to charge.
But I can teach you how to play Yahtzee, but I'd have to charge. My Yahtzee brings all the boys to the yard. They're like 5's better than 4's.
Nice.
And they're like, Yahtzee!
I can teach you how to play. It's a good game. Tony and I play it a lot. That's like our go-to game to play together because it's easy. You don't have all you have is dice and scorecards. You don't have to have pieces in a board and all that kind of stuff. It's just a good game to play on a whim. I bought a set over Christmas and I keep it at my desk and we'll play at work sometimes just for fun, just for the hell of it.
Nikki's family plays a game called Hot Dice, which I think is like some kind of variation of Yahtzee.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't think I've heard of that.
It's been. I've seen other people play it under a different name, and there are like other. We played it with my parents when they came to visit one time,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, we've played this, but this rule was different, and this rule was
Gotcha.
different." So kind of one of those.
Yeah, I actually when I bought the game,
The grappling rules are different. in this one.
when I bought this, I was reading the instruction book, and I've played it for years, but there was a rule I didn't know about, and I read this rule, and then I came home, and Tanya and I played, and I said, "Oh yeah, by the way,
Oh shit!
this is a rule," and she was kind of frustrated. She was kind of mad.
Gnomes
about
are no
it.
longer a race.
Yeah. She was like, "I've never heard of that." I'm like, "It's literally in the official rules. I read it.
I can come wherever I want. It's a rule. No,
It's part of
Yo,
the game."
Yahtzee, can you do me a solid? I need a one-off instruction manual.
But anyway,
you can get that on Etsy.
there are different variations and ways to play it, but the core gameplay is always the same. And I'll bring my set next week.
Okay.
Maybe we'll play a quick game. I'll
All right.
teach you.
I'm down.
It's quick and easy to learn, but it's fun to know how to play.
Okay. If you were, I mean, as long as you don't charge. I can't
For
afford.
you, I would never.
Thank you.
My number 2 will be a game I believe you introduced me to, Dave, many years ago. And I went.
Nightcrawlers.
It's expensive. Nightcrawler.
Overwatch.
Almost. Arkham Horror.
Oh yeah, Arkham Horror is a great game.
Loved Arkham Horror.
Yeah, Arkham Horror rules. It's a long game.
Long, and it was an expensive one, but I still have it. It's over there on my collection rack.
Yeah, it's good. Good choice.
Dave, you're number 2.
I'm going to stick with traditional for now. I'm going to go with the game that I always wanted, and my mom would never buy it for me because she thought it was too noisy. You'd think it would be a different game, Operation, but it was Hungry Hungry Hippos. Operation's way noisier than Hungry Hungry Hippos.
I disagree.
Really?
I think there's more consistent noise
In
in
Hungry
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 Hippos, yeah, for
Hippos.
sure.
Operation is a jump scare game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one, my parents they got me an Operation game when I was like 5 or 6.
It's a good one. I got it too when I was like 5 or
And-
6 because it's a good only child game.
Yeah, it is. And we set it up on Christmas. We set up and played. And the first time my little tweezers touched the side of that thing and it went, I was done.
Oh,
I was like,
know.
I can't do this. It was too scary.
Anxiety.
It was
Yeah.
very much the anxiety. Now I eventually got over it.
I
and-
would do it on purpose to get over it. You know?
yeah, like keep making it.
Yeah,
but
desensitized.
But the first few times I tried playing and I was just trying to win, trying to get it, and you go for that wishbone, and I was like, no.
There should be a work version of
I-
Operation where instead of the meh, it's like a pleasurable moan.
Then you just want to lose.
I mean, you're at work though.
Oh,
It's
at
only
work.
playable at work.
Gotcha.
It's the oops, I opened the wrong tab on my phone game.
All right, if you want to help me figure out what this game was,
Let's try.
So
Let's do it.
the game we played this at a work party. We had like a little game night at work, and the guy that brought it, I could probably text him right now and ask, and he'd say it, but that's no fun.
That's really not fun. Yeah.
So every time you want, like, you start off and you build rooms as you go. It's like a mystery type of game that's like loaded up with all kinds of different scenarios depending on what you trigger, like what cards you pull or something. You trigger a scenario, and like the one we played, like if you want to go into the next room, you can go into a room and you draw a card at random, and it ends up being like a staircase, and you go down the staircase. Or
It sounds like Boss Monster. Is that
it's
how
not that.
operates?
And this one, and there's all manner of like different scenarios that could happen. And so the thing that happened to us was that all of these doppelgangers of us appeared out of nowhere and were attacking, and you have to like
House.
Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
What
it's
is
not
it?
Where
House
the
on
one
Haunted
person
Hill.
becomes the villain at the end.
Maybe
Because we played that one a lot.
Yeah.
So much that I'm ashamed that I
this
can't
one
remember exactly.
apparently has been around a while, and it was
Because Ramon started that in college, and then Josh and Nicole bought it, and we played at their house a few times.
yeah. So I don't.
Betrayal at
Betray-
House on the Hill.
Yeah.
Is one.
Yo,
that
that's
I'm
it.
thinking of.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, it's a
Betrayal
fun
at House
game.
on the Hill.
That's a super
That
fun
is
game.
good.
I never played it before this, and yeah, I really had a good time playing.
Yeah,
it was
that
really
game
great
rules.
because we had like 7 people playing.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Betrayal at House on The Hill.
Okay. That's my next pick.
Yeah.
I should have that name memorized, but I haven't played it in years.
It's been a long time. Like Josh and Nicole were in like a different house, like freshly married the last time I played that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it, so that was a fun one for me. I'm gonna put that on my list.
Yeah, man. Great pick.
This probably should have been my first pick. I was racking my brains and it hit me. Trivial Pursuit.
That's coming
Love
off
the
my
shit
list.
out of Trivial Pursuit.
I do too. It's like a pub quiz without the pub.
Dave, number 3.
I'm gonna go with Hero Quest. Hero Quest introduced a lot of people to D&D in a way.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The little figurines that had the numbers and stuff on the...
No, those are Hero Clicks.
Oh, okay.
Hero Quest is like a game that came out, I guess, in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. That was essentially a dungeon crawl. And there was a board that was like a dungeon. And you would have encounters with monsters and stuff. And you would roll dice to simulate combat. And it really was like a D&D light.
Okay.
And it was all fantasy themed. And I think there's a reissue that came out maybe, I don't know, 6 years ago or something like that. Yeah, Hero Quest. Cool game. Had miniatures that people would paint and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ian, number 4.
Scrabble.
Scrabble was on my list. I do love Scrabble.
Yeah, man. That was our family played Scrabble a bunch.
I'm not that good at it. I mean, I'm okay at it. Tanya plays this Words with Friends game.
Yeah.
She's played it since we had an iPhone 3.
Words with Friends is good.
She has been playing that game for literally almost 10 years, such straight. She's good at it too.
Oh, I believe it.
She's got like all the awards and stuff. But I do like traditional Scrabble. It's fun.
Yeah, man. I love Scrabble. We played
You
it
play
with
Peggy
Henry.
Hill style, small words
Yeah.
or big words.
Whatever. All words.
Let me write down Peggy Hill Scrabble in her show notes. My number 4 will be Fiasco.
Yeah, Fiasco's a great game.
Fiasco. It is. I guess it's a very miniature version of D&D where you kind of play on rails in different scenarios, and there are tokens and stuff for good and bad and notes and things. I played that at Dragon Con and then went out and bought the books, and I probably never played it again. But I really, really enjoyed it. So Fiasco. Dave, number 5.
Okay, we're on 4. I will do... Shit, man. I'm just going to do all traditional, I guess. I'm going to go with Trouble.
Trouble's a fun game.
Trouble's one that I played a bunch as a kid. The Pop-O-Matic Bubble. I feel like that game is not any good unless it has the Pop-O-Matic Bubble. Like that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like if I were just rolling one D6 and then moving a peg around the board,
Nah, you
it's
got to
not
have
the
that
same.
bubble, the trouble bubble.
Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Oh shit. Man, I could go long on this.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Mousetrap.
Damn, I just wrote that one down.
I still don't know how to play
I don't know how to play it
Mousetrap.
either.
No one does.
But I love building the mousetrap and setting it off.
We
and
got it
that's-
to work once at a friend's house. I never owned it,
Yeah.
but like every friend, not every friend had it, but a bunch of them did, and didn't have like all the pieces. None of them had all the
none of
pieces.
Oh
them
except
had all
like
the pieces.
one.
So much.
It's like we're doing it. We're setting this up. We're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that's such a good pick, dude. Mousetrap,
Baby's first Rube Goldberg device.
Yeah.
babies only. I don't know if I've ever.
You don't
made
need
one.
another one.
I'm torn on my 5 spot because there are several that I want to pick. But I will go with, I know I had a great time playing it, and then you bought it and we played it again, Dave. Agricola.
Yeah,
Agricola is
a good
really
game.
fun. Sort of a resource management, growing farm sort of thing.
Yep.
Really good.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
Dave, number 5.
I am going to go with my preschool favorite, Hi Ho Cheerio. I just liked the little toy cherries.
I did too.
And I like putting them in the bucket.
Me too.
That was satisfying. It's like, this is what I want.
Do y'all want to go another round? You want to go more?
I'm totally good to go
Sure.
more.
Okay. Because I just thought of a whole bunch that I like.
Yeah.
I played a lot more board games than I gave myself credit for, apparently.
Number 6.
Battleship. Henry just got that for Christmas.
My dad and I would play that a lot.
Man, my mom had never played Battleship. And I'll tell you guys this already. I feel like I'm having a little deja vu. She had never played Battleship before. I thought that was insane. It's like, how old are you? Never.
That is strange because that's a classic.
Yeah.
I don't
and
believe in war, David.
No, that wasn't her thing. She's like, I'm not good at strategy games. And it's like, you just guess numbers and letters.
There's very little strategy. There's
like
one
lottery.
strategy.
Yeah. And it's like, if something hits, you're like, I don't know, something around there.
Yeah. And they give you a nice little grid to keep track of what you've already guessed. It's easy.
Although when when Santa gave them Battleship, it was like, there's a part of me that's like, you can just play this game with 2 sheets of paper and 2 pins, right?
Yeah, but see, I had electronic
Yeah,
Battleship.
that's the shit right there.
Electronic Battleship was fucking great because you had to like dial in, you program where your shit is on your board, and then like the other person like slides their little dial over to B and then 7, and then they hit a button, and if it's a hit, it goes
Yeah, man.
lights it up and stuff. It was fucking cool.
That's the upsell. I mean,
It really is.
Yeah, that makes the difference.
I mean, you
feel-
can have a lot of fun playing traditional
Yeah, sure.
Battleship, but the electric one was fucking cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I remember some friends having that.
Probably the most elaborate like game I ever owned. Electronic Battleship. That and Mousetrap.
Good pick.
My number 6 will be something that it's more fun adding your own homebrew rules and everything to it, but Jenga.
Jenga was on my honorable mention list of stressful games alongside Operation.
Yeah, man. There's an RPG based around Jenga, from Dragon Con.
Oh, yeah.
Dread. I've always wanted to run it, but haven't. I even got a Jenga set for it and was like,
Oh.
I'm going to go with possibly the most memorable board game commercial from my childhood. That would be Crossfire.
Crossfire.
Where you fucking like the kid fucking like hoverboards in on the Crossfire piece.
Hell yes.
You get caught in the
Crossfire.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it
really-
once. Wasn't like the commercial. It was okay.
It was fine. Yep. I know that feel.
Yeah, marketing.
Get you every time.
We want to go to 10?
Yes. For sure, I do.
Easily.
Yeah.
My number, what is this, 7?
Yes.
My number 7 is a game called Mastermind.
Mastermind, yeah.
You know this game?
Yeah.
I love Mastermind.
I think there's
Is
an
that
NES
what's in
game.
Fallout? What is the Fallout computer based on? When you're hacking a computer in Fallout, but it's
I
based
don't
off a
even
game
remember.
like
Where you guess the password?
yeah.
Maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
it may be. You have these colored dots, and the board is like a long rectangle with all these little pegs and square holes in it, and you like put your pegs behind the thing, behind your little partition, and the other player has to try to figure out the pattern of them. And they get up to the point where like they go up the board until they get it right. And I can't remember
I looked it up because I wanted to make sure I don't know what it is. I don't know the NES game I'm thinking of, but I don't even know. I've never played Mastermind. It looks like a Baccarat board or something.
Yeah, so this right here is yours, and then your opponent has to guess, and they get this many rows to try to guess the correct color pattern of how you have it.
Oh, okay.
And then I can't remember what the deal is, like if you have to say this one's right or you have 3 right or something. I can't remember the finer points. It's been since I was little since I played it, but I enjoyed it.
It resembles an earlier pencil and paper game called Bulls and Cows. If we
Okay.
ever want to check that one out.
All right.
That may date back a century.
I've got that I've got Senate, by the way. We never did play Senate. That
Yeah.
Egyptian game,
God, I
I
forgot
have
about
that at
that.
home. I ordered it, and we got to play that.
Bring that in Yahtzee, man. Let's
I
do
can't
it.
say that I know how to. I can't put that on my list because I haven't played it.
We'll get on Senate, TikTok. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it came with instructions.
Man, anytime I get a new board game, I immediately go to YouTube and I type in the name of the game and then the word rules. Because or gameplay. I am over reading rules for a game, especially when I pull it out and it's like 48 pages. I don't think so.
That's why I like playing new games with Wiley.
Yeah,
Because Wiley
'cause he
was
would
good.
teach 'em.
Yeah.
And like a lot of game companies I found recently will do their own videos for like how to play the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
My
Tyler.
number 7, I got back into it with Shake online, chess.
Oh,
Chess.
fuck, the chess. That's an excellent game. I learned how to play chess in middle school. It was all of my friends. I didn't have any friends when I went to the middle school I attended because I was new there. And my friends Bob and Quinn and Y and all those guys were all playing chess at lunch. And I was just sitting and watching. And they taught me how to play chess, and that's how I made friends with all of them.
Nice.
So, yeah, great pick.
Yeah, chess is a great pick. It's a classic.
Beautiful game.
Dave, number 7.
I'll go with the chess of guessing games. Guess Who?
Ooh.
Guess Who? Again, because of the commercial
But just the talking
where
version.
the,
Yeah.
the people talk and then they don't in real life, and it's disappointing.
Oh,
Part of you knew they weren't gonna, but also they should though.
Yep. Yep. Who is that copy? Do you have that Tadpog Guess Who that someone made us?
I think that you do. I think all that stuff's here.
Yes.
Oh.
Cuban
Oh,
bee.
there it is.
right by the
I
beach.
forgot. Ian, number 8.
My number 8 is Pass the Pigs.
Pass the pigs.
You get these 2 little pig dice, and you toss them on the table, and however they land, you get points for the way that they're landed. The way
Do you
that they
bet
landed.
on how they're gonna land?
No,
Or-
you just get point. You play for points.
So you roll your points.
You roll your
It's
pigs,
you're getting the
and
points.
they're these tiny little plastic pigs, and they can land on their feet or on their back or on their side, and the combinations of the two get you a certain amount of points.
Okay.
It's a cool little game, and it's easy to pick up and play because there's no board. It's just a
Just the dice.
couple of pigs.
That's cool.
Yeah,
love it.
I dig it. There's also a giant version of it.
Giant pigs.
Like big pigs, past the pigs. It's just these pigs are like the size of your hand, which isn't as fun. I wouldn't want it. I like the little tiny.
You can play with the real pigs.
Play with real pigs if you want.
The Muppet version.
Yeah.
Pigs in space.
Yes. Pigs in space. Tyler.
I had to go check my board game shelf out there because, like, what's the name of this?
Oh.
So number 8 is, forget the first time I played it. It's probably the first time I ever played a DVD-based board game for, like, the questions and everything. So Seen It.
Seen it.
Loved the
Yeah.
shit out of Seen It back in the day.
We had Seinfeld Seen It, but I haven't played that in a long time.
Yeah.
Those are cool games.
It's out there, and I couldn't play it if I wanted to because I don't have a DVD player.
Those are really
I guess I
neat.
can put in the PS5.
multimedia games when those started happening, like You Don't Know Jack and stuff. Those were great. Those were good.
Will the PS5 play DVDs?
Yeah.
You're right. I don't know.
I think it would.
No, I mean, I honestly.
Oh, you mean like standard DVDs?
Right,
Yeah, could I
Standard.
put a Seen It disc in my PS5?
I think you can
play
just
Blu-rays.
play. I think you can just play DVDs in a Blu-ray player. I think it's backwards compatible, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
PS5 Standard Edition supports both Blu-rays and DVD discs, according to videoproc.com.
All right.
Want to
What
play
about
Seen It?
HD DVDs? Yeah.
Oh no. The PS5 is not compatible, all caps, with and cannot, all caps, play DVD-ROM features. This is Reddit. I don't know. Judges are out.
Okay. We'll have to see.
I think I heard a rumor that you have to like download an app to play like a Blu-ray on the Xbox or something like that. I don't know. I have never like I'm done buying Blu-rays.
Yeah,
like
no.
I mean, like
Yeah.
games, like Nintendo Switch games, I will buy physically. But if it's in some disc-based, I will buy too. But as far as fucking movies, that ship has sailed for me.
Yeah.
It is like I want to watch this now, and I want to pay whoever $8 for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gage still collects them. So
I used to, man.
yeah, no.
I respect the game, but
I'm gonna go get though. What I'm gonna do though is ask him if I can borrow his entire really super expensive collection of DVDs and 4Ks and all that kind of stuff, and then sell it like he did with my DVD collection.
what I don't like about it is
We don't have cable. Can I borrow your DVD collection? Yeah. 2 years later, hey, where's our DVD?
I have
collection?
cable now.
Oh, I sold it.
Oh
That
my
fucking
God.
sucks.
Cool. Thanks for that. That's awesome. I only spent.
My family member did something like that too. I know the pain.
Yes, they did.
I just don't. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I got a new TV. I guess I rebuy all these movies that I've already bought on DVD and then bought on VHS before that. So I guess this kind of sucks. This isn't Chrono Trigger. Like, I can't just keep buying this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Digital is the way
Yeah.
for me, especially.
I'm tired of
For
buying Back to the
movies,
Future, y'all. Like, so tired. I like it, but
I paid like $150 for that movie over and over and over. I think you're up, or did you pick?
did I? Guess Who was my last one, I
Guess Who
think,
was
right?
your last one.
Oh, you did Pass the Pigs.
Then seen it.
then
and then
seen
Seen
it,
it, and
now
that's back to
now
me.
it's back
Oh,
to
fuck.
you.
I'm going to go with
Are you a talk show
The
host?
Game of Life. I threw the card. No one could see it other than the other
It
host.
was-
Can we,
It was good.
Can we
was
put a-
brilliant.
Well done.
a window breaking sound effect in
Yes,
there? Thank you.
probably.
Rip it in half.
I just got to make sure to adjust the volume. Apparently, I scratched out. I made a little static noise over the thing that I had
Yeah.
to censor out of last week's episode.
Yeah.
And it sounded fine to me, but apparently it scared the shit out of everyone that's listened
hurt
to
the
it.
babby's ears?
Super loud. Yeah. The babbies didn't like it. My turn.
Yes. Number 9. Number 9.
Number nine. Memory.
Oh, where you flip the card.
Yeah.
Like the mini game in Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah, you got to remember
Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
find the matching
Yeah.
cards. Yeah.
That's a great one.
My number 9 will be when my aunt used to babysit me a lot. We'd always play this game, and I love the shit out of it. Don't Break the Ice.
Oh,
Yes.
that I love that game.
Yeah.
Now, you would think that under my current stressor level of Jengas and operations, things that can happen all of a sudden, that I wouldn't like Break the Ice, but I loved that game. That was fun.
We had it in kindergarten, and none of us knew how to play it. I don't think the instructions were in there, and we would just kind of put it together. It had the little yellow hammer or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we would just hit the ice. I don't know how you're supposed to play, but we'd hit the ice, pass the hammer, hit the ice, pass the hammer.
It's kind of like, it's kind of that. It's the way you're supposed to do it.
Okay, good.
If you are the one that knocks it to where all the ice falls out, you lose.
You lose.
Yeah.
Because that was like a whole little bundle of Don't Break the Ice, Connect 4, Ants in the Pants,
Ants in the pants.
and something else that were all like the white box little bundles
That's
that
a
all
good
came
one.
together.
Was the fourth one? It's my turn.
Yes.
Was the fourth one Don't Wake the Dragon? Because that'll be my pick, I guess.
I remember Don't Wake Daddy.
Shit, what was the dragon one? Maybe it was Don't Wake Daddy. I don't know
Yeah.
what the dragon one was. There was a game where there was like a purple dragon. That's my pick. The game with the purple dragon. It was
Let me pop that into the.
it was an opioid based board game. I
They had one called Don't Wake Granny.
don't
And
remember
you had to
that
try
one.
to steal her cookies off of her little TV tray, and if you juggle it did it the wrong way, she would pop up. And that's a more recent game. That was
Dragon Snacks?
No, I don't think it was that.
good Steam name though.
It is a good Steam name. Maybe it wasn't a purple dragon. Maybe I just thought as a kid that Don't Wake Daddy would be way cooler if it was a dragon instead. That is also possibly a thing.
Might be how I see my father. It's good. It's getting blurry right now. So, Dave, your number 9 is Purple Dragon Game?
Purple Dragon Game that I might have made up.
/ maybe Don't Wake Daddy?
/ maybe Don't Wake Daddy, yes.
Because that was another one my aunt and I played a lot. And number 10.
John Spartan, what's your boggle?
Boggle.
Oh, shit, man. I'm trying to find this fucking dragon game. And I'm pulling some shit that I haven't thought about in a long, long time.
Oh, damn.
Like a game called Shark Attack.
Okay.
Fuck, man. I'll be back later. I gotta watch a Shark Attack video. I have to toe dash real quick.
My number 10 will be a game that I would play with my cousins, and they thought it was hilarious. And that might have been the first taste I got of like, yeah, I like making people laugh. This is fun. Which is Pretty Princess.
Pretty
All right.
princess.
So
I
I
remember
would
you
put
telling
on
the story.
the tiara and the earrings and all that, and they fucking love the shit out of it.
Cool.
This isn't my pick, but a commercial that always bothered me a whole bunch is Crocodile Dentist.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like both Crocodile
God, I
Dentist
forgot about Crocodile
and
Dentist.
fucking Mr. Bucket
Mr. Bucket.
spent $50 million on advertising. They're like, we're going to play this between Gilligan's Island and Charles in Charge.
Yes.
And it's like, that's all you're going to get. Those the only commercials. Charles in Charge brought to you by Mr. Bucket.
Mr.
God
Bucket.
damn, Mr. Bucket.
Put your balls in my hat,
I know, man.
Mr.
this
Bucket.
fucking shit. What? Have you seen the commercial recently? It's great because it is straight up just like oral sex for kids. The board game. It's like I cannot believe any network executive was like, "It's fine."
Mr. Bucket, aren't you a little curious?
Women can't talk to each other in movies, but I don't know. Kids can put balls in their mouths. They're kids.
I'll spit them right out.
We're on 9 or 10.
This is 10. This is
Ah,
it. This is it.
Conclusion.
Calling it after
Then I
this
have
one.
to do an artisanal board game. I haven't done one yet. So my favorite of the artisanal board games is Ticket to Ride.
I figured that was coming.
Ticket to Ride's a really, really fun board game where every player tries to build a railway and then make routes on that railway and fulfill routes and all that. And it's fun. It doesn't sound like it would be, but
It sounds good. I'd like to try that.
Honorable mentions.
Simon,
And win, lose, or draw.
Barrel of Monkeys,
oh, Barrel of
I
Monkeys.
forgot about Barrel of
God.
Monkeys.
Stressor, Uno.
Fucking Uno.
I avoided card games because I thought that would open a.
I didn't
Oh,
say
different.
it because
Yeah.
I didn't know if that would be applicable, but I feel like Uno belongs in the board game category just
Yeah.
because it's been around.
It's
forever.
straightforward. You know, it's not like Magic the Gathering is definitely a different card game.
Sure.
Settlers of Catan,
Yeah.
yeah,
Risk.
Carcassonne. Yeah, Risk.
There's a game out there that I love called Imagine If. We used to play that every Thanksgiving with my family.
Imagine if we owned Mr. Bucket.
Cranium. I loved Cranium back in the day.
That was a good draft.
That was a good draft. I'm still trying to find that fucking dragon game.
And you
Maybe
will
it-
be for the rest of your life.
I think it might have involved eggs. Also, Shark Attack. Man, this isn't going to mean anything to anybody at the table, but I forgot
I've
I
seen
had
that
this
box.
fucking game.
Yes.
And bed bugs.
Oh, bed bugs, right? Totally. Pig pong. I never would have thought of it, but it's here on this list. And it's like, I remember that fucking box. Didn't know a single goddamn person who owned Pig Pong. But
Me neither.
I loved Candyland as a kid.
Oh, Candyland.
Candyland.
I've learned to hate Candyland because that was the game Cohen liked to play the most when he was little. His first board game was Candyland, and I fucking hated it after we played it 700 times. Tanya played it even more.
Twister.
Twister is a good one. Yeah.
You mentioned Connect 4. I had Connect 4. We mentioned Operation.
I also have Connect 4 at my desk at my office. It's another easy one to pick up and play.
Nice. Checkers. I like checkers before I learned to play chess. I like checkers.
Man. God. My dad wouldn't play a lot of games with me, but he would fucking relish in destroying me at checkers. It's like
I'm terrible at checkers.
I mean, checkers is what made me fall in love with Melissa.
Yes.
Because I remember
Not how fast she could run.
I just thought about that recently. It made me fall more in love with her.
We're talking about Taz here. Come on.
It was, so we met in 6th grade, boyfriend, girlfriend, but I remember it was 7th grade where she invited me to her birthday party at her house. I remember I had my mom take me to the mall. I bought a new outfit. I was all excited. And I went, and it was in her basement, and she was all her friends. I really didn't know anybody, so I was kind of a wallflower. And she noticed that, and she brought over that version of checkers with the big black and white rug and the giant checkers.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we did for like the rest of the night. She took that out of her party. She was like, hey, I want to spend time with him. And then she and I just laughed and talked and played checkers for like the rest of her party. And
she liked you too.
That was it for me at that point.
All right,
motherfucker. I want to show you this so you'll stop gaslighting me. Don't wake the dragon.
All right.
The board game.
I just uploaded that.
It does look a little AI generated. It's weird this dragon has 8 fingers.
Its teeth are weird.
Yeah, don't wake the dragon. You steal the motherfuckers. Yeah, look at this. Look how cool this looks.
So I was like, Jonathan, wake up. I need you to draw a dragon. Don't wake the dragon and upload it real quick.
A board where you steal the dragon's
Oh, yeah,
eggs,
I've seen that game.
And it's all like a 3D
shit. Damn,
model
dude.
terrain.
Damn, that is very deep, but I know what you're talking about now. Wow.
That's some kindergarten shit right there.
I'm glad you found it.
Me too, man. That was driving me fucking crazy.
Shoots and Ladders. I played Shoots and Ladders a lot as a kid.
I also hate that one because of the whole Candyland. Same Candyland thing.
Trouble.
Sorry.
You picked Trouble.
What I meant was sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They're the same game. It's just Trouble has the problematic bubble.
One's the American version, one's the Canadian
version. One's fuck you. The other one's sorry. One's just gunshot noises. The other one's sorry.
I don't know why I loved it so much in high school, but Mancala, to where it's like the board with all the divots and you have rocks that you put in.
I don't know that one.
I don't either.
I remember playing it. My friend and I played it all the fucking time, and it's just putting stones in like 20 holes, taking turns.
Nice.
Put your stones in my hole.
Nice.
Mancala, put the stones in my hole.
You go like Mr. Bucket, but hate chasing that fucker around the living room.
Play Mancala.
BioShock board game. I mentioned that for Shake. I played that once, and it's been out. It's been on my shelf for 10 years.
Yeah, I played it.
Yep. I remember I think the one time I played it was with you, and that's it.
Yeah, that sentence is over.
Very declarative.
I liked
it.
I've never played Risk though, but I know some people love it.
I could never understand it. A buddy of mine, Bob, he played Risk. It was like his
Risk is awesome.
favorite game, and I never really understood it. I think if I tried it now, I probably would.
Oh yeah, totally.
But he was into it.
Yeah, Risk
big
was
time.
a lot of fun. I used to play solo Risk. Because for the longest time it was just me in the house. I was the only kid in the house, and it was like, well, I own Risk. Just gonna simulate warfare, and then I'd set them all. I'd randomly generate who got what country to start and all that, and then just like, okay, let's see who wins.
All right.
That's what it was like living before the internet.
But you know what you
Oh,
could
you telling me? I know.
you know
I never
what
ever
board
had a
game
The babbies. I'm
you
telling the
could have
babbies.
played by yourself as a kid. Clue on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's
Because
on
the
my
only
list of
real
good
version
things.
of way to play it is by yourself.
against the computer.
Yep.
Well, stay tuned, everyone, and we'll be back to talk about Clue.
Da-da-da-da-da. I am your singing telegram.
And now for a lot of movie talk and a little bit of game talk.
The Clue Talk.
Clue Talk. That's
so, Yep.
Bye.
We mentioned
This
the
is-
game. We're done.
This is our intro was longer than most of our old episodes.
That is true. Hope you enjoyed that.
Back when we used to be like, it's close to an hour, we better wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to summarize the movie before we start talking about it.
Please.
That way we don't have to go back and
Yeah,
do that later.
totally.
This is the part of the show that we like to call Ian reads from Wikipedia.
I'm glad it came back in Ian form.
Clue is a 1985 American black comedy mystery film based on the board game of the same name. Directed by Jonathan Lynn, who co-wrote the script with John Landis, which is why we picked this, because John Landis directed The Blues Brothers, which we watched last week. And produced by Deborah Hill, it stars the ensemble cast of Eileen Brennan, Tim Curry, Madeline Kahn, Christopher Lloyd, Michael McKeon, Martin Mull, Leslie Ann Warren, and Colleen Camp. To me, this was a
Fucking top shelf.
this was
It's
a
a great
heavy
cast.
hitting cast. I love every single person in this movie.
Can I tell you what blew my fucking mind?
Please.
Is I didn't recognize Colleen Camp.
Oh, I had such a crush on her.
I mean, I remember her from Clue
Yeah.
in the 90s on Comedy
the maid?
Central.
Yes.
She's the maid.
Okay.
She plays Yvette.
Gives us a little panty flash at one point, which is probably where that all started for me.
I didn't realize that she is Noah's wife in Wayne's World. She's
Yes.
Mrs. Vanderhoff. I had no
Good.
idea.
I
And
forgot
didn't
that.
even
I forgot about
recognize
that.
her.
Yeah.
I just saw
Tadpog's
Wayne's
got
World.
layers.
Yeah. Levels, Jerry.
Yeah, I actually did know that, and I had forgotten about her being in Wayne's
Your
World.
wife is a
Yeah.
babe.
Yeah, yeah. And she is a babe. Colleen Camp was hot.
She's also in Sliver, which I have definitely masturbated to in middle school so many times that it might, maybe to her, I don't know. I haven't rewatched Sliver.
So
Don't remember a lot of the faces, but
No, I don't. Is there a Sliver SNES game?
I hope not. No, I hope so. On goes this article. I'm not going to go through the whole Wikipedia article, but there is an important thing that I do want to talk about right out of the gate. Inspired by the nature of the board game, the film's initial release featured various different endings with one of three possibilities sent to each theater. So
Right.
when this movie premiered, if you watch Clue now, you see the three different endings.
Kind of like Wayne's World.
Kind of like Wayne's World, exactly. Another tie-in where they do one thing and they say that could have happened,
They reveal a killer.
but here's what really happened. Then they do another one where they reveal another killer, and then they go, and that ending's fine, but this is what really happened. And then they do a third ending,
Which
and
is
there
my
was
favorite.
Yeah.
a fourth
That's
ending
the
shot
one.
that they decided not to go with, not to include.
Really?
But yeah, and I'll bring that up later. But so what happened was when this movie was made, there were different endings sent to different theaters all across the country
that. That's amazing.
based on region. And so if you lived in Chicago and you went to see Clue, you would see possibly see a different ending than you would see, say, in Orlando or in Oakland or something.
Where they get all the good McDonald's pieces.
The problem is they didn't let everyone in on the joke. And so the movie kind of shit the bed in the box office. It just barely came up under budget
Yeah.
in its box office take
It's
until
like 47.
until everyone started realizing there were different endings. Because, we didn't have back
internet
then
in
there was no
85.
internet in
Playing Risk by ourselves
1985.
back then. It was fucking
Yeah,
wild.
exactly.
I was one. So
And so they didn't have that. And if you didn't know, you just thought, well, that's kind of weird. It just ends. And I thought all the endings were funny, but it really took off whenever the producer, Deborah Hill, whenever she finally came up with the idea of, hey, let's release it again, only this time with all 3 endings tacked on and make it work that way. And that's what, of course, sort of cemented it as a cult classic. It's one of the great comedy movies from the mid to early 80s, in my opinion.
if you want to adapt a board game movie, this is how you fucking do it.
It was great. And the cast.
It's so important. I feel like the script is good.
It is, but it's based on a board game.
Right.
But
the cast like really elevates the
Flames?
script.
Coming
Yeah.
out of my head.
oh my, that was improvised.
Oh God.
And that
believe
was
it.
Madeline Kahn's fucking specialty. She, of course, was in Blazing Saddles. Her, if you've not seen Blazing Saddles,
Frankenstein too.
and yes, Young Frankenstein, she was a Mel Brooks staple, and her type of humor, her brand of humor, the way she sort of does that
my God.
weird, that makes me fucking laugh every time. And I got to hand it to Martin Mull, who was standing behind
Leon.
her. Yeah.
Man, I can't watch anything he's in, which is pretty much Clue and Roseanne, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like, it's Leon.
No, he's been in everything. But
he mooned
he
Reagan
was-
on SNL.
yes, he did.
Really? That's great.
He was standing behind her while she was doing that improv, and you could tell he was just on the verge of losing his shit. And I'm sure they had to do that several times. I would love to see the outtakes from this
Yeah.
movie,
That
because
might be better than the movie.
We
you
can't-
could- there's
can't watch
probably-
it on a PS5 though.
right.
Yeah.
There's probably an equal amount of outtakes as there is movie, because it's a relatively short movie.
Yeah.
But again, just one of my all-time favorite comedies.
Yeah, it's to say something about the cast when I feel like Christopher Lloyd is the lowest energy of anyone on the cast. Is saying something to how high quality it is.
Absolutely. And of course, now we've got lost her name. Leslie Ann Warren, who plays Miss Scarlet, was originally going to be Carrie Fisher, which I think would have been an amazing addition.
Yeah, it would've.
But she was actually entering drug rehab at that point and couldn't take the role, which is a shame. Good for her.
Yeah.
Because she was able to get in, and she was able to get clean and get a lot better. I mean, not perfectly better, but a lot better. But she would have been an excellent fit in this cast.
Yeah.
And then
Michael McKean, I'm sorry, just blew my mind just how criminally young
oh my
Michael
God, I
McKean
know.
is in this movie.
like compare him there to Better Call Saul, and it's like Jesus and Spinal
even
Tap.
SNL when he
and
was on SNL.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's great in the movie.
He's so good. He's so low key, but that's his deal. He's always kind of low key.
He's
and
a good, quiet,
he is
straight
a
man.
good straight man. You're not wrong. Tim Curry.
Coneheads. So good in
Coneheads.
Yeah, he
Coneheads.
is good in Coneheads.
Tim Curry's in this movie. He
Yes.
plays Wadsworth the butler.
Him
who-
running at the crime scene to crime scene, explaining everything is like the fucking best.
God, it's a great scene when he grabs the knife and goes running like he's reenacting, and he's basically rehashing the entire first half of the movie. And at one point, they all would be like, "Get on with it. We know. Get on with it." Rowan Atkinson was originally considered to be the butler.
I don't like that.
well,
I mean, that's nothing against him, but
They
man.
didn't run with him because he wasn't very well known in the United States.
he couldn't have
and
carried the
he wouldn't have-
twist,
he
'cause
wouldn't have
Tim Curry
carried it
has
as
that
well.
underlying
Yeah.
deviousness to him.
Yeah.
This is to me is like I know the whole cast is great, but to me this is a Tim Curry movie.
Oh, for
You know
sure.
what I
He
mean?
is
Like-
he's the star of the show.
Yeah.
And there
This and The Worst Witch. Tim Curry movies. He's in it. They're Tim Curry movies.
one notable cameo in the movie, Jane Weedlin, the guitar player from the Go-Go's, is the singing Telegram
Oh wow.
girl.
Yeah.
She's,
Holy shit.
Blam!
That's Jane. That's she's the rhythm guitarist for the Go-Go's.
That's awesome. I didn't
which
know that.
was really neat. I thought that was cool. That then she was in the movie for all of 5 seconds. Just everything about this movie makes me happy. I have the first time I saw it, I loved it. I loved how funny it was. I love how kind of raunchy it is, kind of racy. All the women are wearing evening gowns that show too much cleavage. Colleen Camp is wearing a French maid outfit. My goodness.
Essentially, all of Christopher Lloyd's jokes are him staring at her cleavage.
And she has easily the most cleavage I think I've ever seen in a not porno, in a long
It's
time.
abundant.
Huge cleavage.
Tracks of
all
land.
the cleavage.
And I also love how every little thing about the board game, they do find a way to incorporate.
Yes.
Like they cover all of it, and it's so beautifully done. I feel like you could study this in screenwriting.
Absolutely, because they are saying we want to base this movie off of a popular board game, and they have the secret passageways and the music, the conservatory and the study and all of the thing, and the house is even laid out in the same sort of general way as the board.
Yep.
You're not
good.
wrong. It's amazing how well they did that.
And then all the secret passages and everything they put. It's phenomenal.
I did find out, I mentioned this last week, I did find out that there is still ongoing talks about a remake of this movie starring Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard about this. Maybe you told me this.
It's been I mentioned it last week.
Okay, that's it.
It's been in the works since probably about 2018. At one point, Jason Bateman was thinking about being in it, but he wasn't brought in. And I can't remember who all they've considered doing, but it's just going to be a modern remake of this movie. I'm hoping
Just get
that
the Always Sunny cast. Just do that.
it would work.
Just do
It would work. Everyone and Ryan Reynolds.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Ryan Reynolds would be
Well,
the
he
one
and
to
Rob
carry
Macklin are like best friends now. So
Oh, well,
maybe
there you
it
go.
is, yeah.
There we go. We just wrote a movie. That was easy.
solved it.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see a passion project remake of such a classic movie. I don't think they're going to get it wrong. I think it's just going to be an updated
Just do a shot for
version.
shot remake with a new cast.
Pretty much, you could, and I would watch it and be happy with it. I think, but just everything about this movie makes me happy. It's one that I truly love watching, and there's so much classic comedy in it. So many good sight gags, things that are just the subtlety of the comedy. Some of it's overt, and some of it's really subtle. The way they look, some of the faces they make, some of the reactions they have, everything about it is just super well done.
The mild
and
necrophilia. It's all so good.
the scene where this cop shows
Madeline
up,
Kahn kissing the dead body.
and then they've got the other
The maid holding her eyes open while they
while they're making out by the curtain, and
Nothing wrong
Eileen
here.
Brennan is behind with her arms going behind it like she's holding on to him and kissing him. The maid was one of the funniest parts of this movie, the way they keep moving her body. And she's got to play dead. And at one point, they literally drop her face on the floor. They're holding up her body, and the two that are holding the front just kind of drop her, but their legs are still being held up, and she still has to stay still. And I think maybe she just didn't get enough recognition for her ability to play a dead body, because she was like Weekend at Bernie's good at being dead. So props to her for that. But I thought that the multiple endings thing was a neat trick.
It's neat.
I think that it was the thing that ultimately did it in, though. I think that you gotta, as I've said, the best jokes are the ones you have to
incorporating
explain.
every part of the board game. It's the,
Right, 'cause
it
that's
has
the
multiple
random-
endings.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
Random
it is
nature.
brilliant. But I think a lot of people were. It wasn't as easy to just turn on in the internet and on
85
YouTube
wasn't
and
ready.
see it.
I think that's the
that's
case.
it.
I think
I
it's
agree.
I think the time period. I mean, that's a tough one to
Today,
appreciate.
that would
It's in
be-
It's the Dreamcast of board game movies.
It would work today. And at the very least, you could put a UPC or a QR code at the end of the credits to scan to take you to the other endings if you really were being tricky about it, you know?
Yeah.
But you're right. It was a brilliant idea that was just a little too far ahead of its time.
Yep.
So I think that's what did it in at the box office because people just didn't understand, well, you know, okay, neat, it's an ending. And that's all the endings work better when they're played in conjunction with the alternate.
Oh yeah,
endings.
totally.
So
I also think the comedy itself, like, I mean, I was 4 years old in 1985, and I didn't see Clue until it was appreciated on like a cult level.
right.
So like,
So it was on Comedy Central.
right, all the time, all the time. It was on Comedy Central, and the first time I saw Clue was probably definitely wasn't in the correct order. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's 30 minutes of Clue here. Oh, there's 30 minutes. Okay, I guess that happened before. But I can't name a 1985 comedy that like is anything like Clue. It just feels like its own animal.
And it's one of the rare times when a board game adaptation movie kind of works.
I know we've had Battleship, which I didn't see. Have we had?
I liked Battleship the movie, but it wasn't a good movie, but I liked it.
Have we had? Have there been others? I really don't know.
Honestly, I don't know either. Now that I say it out loud, I would have said initially, oh yeah, there's been a
Does that
ton.
count?
Jumanji.
That counts, right?
That does count. That's based on a board. Well,
Right, it's a fictional board game, but then they made a real board game.
Now it's a real board game.
There's a Ouija movie.
Oh yeah, I haven't
That's
seen
true.
that. but
There's a Monopoly documentary.
I've seen the Scrabble documentary. It's good.
They need to make a series like Billions or one of those like greedy rich family, and just it be based on Monopoly. Just call it Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Yeah, 10 movies based off board games. Battleship, 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's not a good movie, but I love it.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu,
Boo.
saying trading cards are almost a board game, right? Clue,
Never heard of
which
it.
only has a 68
On Rotten Tomatoes. Critic or
That's
audience?
crazy. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't, this list doesn't say, but I bet it's
critic.
Critic.
yeah.
Because I'm sure they're pulling from the old.
Yeah,
as well.
audience score
It
for
has to
Clue
be
would be
through the
probably in the 90s if
looking
I had
it
to
up.
guess.
Saying Labyrinth because mazes are puzzles.
Oh God!
Was
yeah,
this the
This
stretch.com?
list. Ouija, Origin of Evil, Game Night.
oh yeah.
Wow.
That's
a
not
stretch.
based on a board game.
It's just games. Werewolves Within, based
Okay.
on the video game of the same name and takes heavy inspiration from One Night Ultimate Werewolf, which is a card game. Ready or Not, Pi.
PI?
Uh-huh.
I've watched that, but
Based on a board game?
that comes with the drill.
Pi is loosely based on the board game Go,
Oh, that's an
says Darren Aronofsky.
Go is like a
Ancient.
ancient
Yeah.
Chinese secret. I still don't understand how to play Go.
The Seventh Seal.
Oh my God. Okay. So it's not a very common thing, apparently.
Nope.
I was reading a little bit more about these alternate endings.
Candyland should be a fucking movie, though.
One of the things was that they didn't tell. Says this type of gimmick may have worked were it not for the fact that the endings were distributed by region, likely implying the viewers would have to travel well outside their usual movie theaters if they were to see the alternate endings. Even if they went to a different theater, there was no guarantee which ending they might see, and there's no evidence that the regional divide was ever made apparent to the ticket-buying customer. So it's like, again, no one was in on the joke.
Or if
no
you
one
travel to
knew
a
what
different
was
city
going
and
on.
it's the same one, yeah,
That would suck.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
So I went to RottenTomatoes.com, and the stretch.com got it fucking crazy wrong. they've got Clue as a 71% with an 86% audience score.
Okay.
That sounds better.
Yeah,
that sounds
vibes
more
with me.
accurate.
I just wanted to feel better.
Yeah.
Because that was like, that's criminally
That's
low.
bad. And like Ouija, the Evil Within had like an 86.
Fuck, I guess I'm gonna watch that. Type Tim Curry a letter as I watch it.
This is an interesting excerpt from this article on Collider about Clue. The fact that the film has prompted many written retrospectives, a Rocky Horror-like screening situation, and a luscious television life speaks to both the skill of everyone involved with the film and the gravitas of every single decision a filmmaker makes. Had Lynn chosen to combine the endings from the beginning, things might have ended differently. Clue is a uniquely brilliant film that uses an intellectual property in a way that was unparalleled probably until the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, which is That's really apt comparison in my opinion.
I agree with
because
that.
I was like, Pirates of the Caribbean, that's the most boring ride at Disney World. Turns out they could make some pretty decent fucking movies out of it.
Yeah, that was one where people were coming back from watching it, and I couldn't believe. I was like, I couldn't believe them, and it was
that
like,
they were saying how good it
really
was.
good.
Yeah,
I
was
remember
the
going to
same
see it
way.
kind of begrudgingly.
Yeah.
And then coming out and being like, that was pretty fucking good. Pretty great movie, actually.
It says, smart, funny, well-acted satire that utilizes both murder, mystery, and board game tropes to entertain and delight. It's especially ironic that the film's future could have ended differently if things had ended differently. The murderer behind the death of Clue will probably always remain unknown. However, as the film is enjoying its fruitful second life, the suspects can hopefully sleep soundly. I really like sort of the afterlife that this movie has had, and that so many people are into it, and that it's still, it's a classic. It's one of those things that people still talk about.
Oh yeah,
and that means something.
100% agree.
So no, I'm glad you picked Clue so we can go back and watch again and talk about it. It's really good shit. I love Tim Curry. There'll never be another Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Did they make a Rocky Horror Picture Show SNES game?
No, I don't
Damn it,
so.
Janet.
They made a third season of Roseanne Super Nintendo game starring Tim Curry.
Colonel Mustard's in it. It's weird.
Tim Curry was one of the big bads on that show Criminal Minds for like a whole several episodes. He was gross.
He played Dale the Whale and Monk for a minute too.
Yeah. There are some old music videos out there that Tim Curry did when he was early in his career after Rocky Horror, like music videos, and they're pretty great.
I haven't seen those.
They're great. Highly recommend watching one of those. And they're like I want to say they're original songs, but I don't know.
Well, you want to talk about the game?
Yes.
Okay. Clue for Super Nintendo.
Yeah, and you're going to have to do most of the talking because I didn't even play it this week. I was just so busy at work and lost track of time. And I kept thinking I was a day behind what it really was because I started work on a Tuesday. I kept thinking I had a whole
today.
And
I get
exactly. Thank you, Wimpy. I thought today I was laboring under the delusion all day yesterday that today was Wednesday.
Yeah, I get it.
And so I realized it was Thursday, and I had a lot of work to do today. And I was like, well, I'm not going to play the game this week, but I'll know about the movie.
I played Clue on the SNES for an hour, and I was mad at it because I thought it was a different day. I was like, I have to do this now. And what I want to do is play Final Fantasy real bad. I know what I'll do. I'll run it in the back. I'll run Final Fantasy in the background. I had to stop that because it was fucking up the recording for YouTube. So I was like, all right, fine, Clue, you win. I'll play you for an hour. You have my attention for 1 hour. And it went by pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
I was trying to remember how to play it. Because if you don't really know how to play it, the game is hard to figure out.
It is, and I feel like because they don't tell you how to play it in the game itself. And I downloaded the instruction manual from Hasbro.com. They have the PDF SNES instruction manual.
Scanned in crookedly.
It's like they took the time to scan it.
Just like you get it in a video store. Great touch, Hasbro. You all deserve the $5 million bonuses you gave each other before laying off 1,000 people.
Right.
They got like the intern to scan that
and
he didn't give a shit.
And he did not know
all
the straighten
crooked.
tool.
And then they fired him.
And they fired him, yeah.
But I just thought it was so fucking crazy that it's like, why did you do that? It seems weird. And then Ian, you pointed something out in the instruction manual that I really want you to do.
Here's the thing about this game. One thing I do know about this game, even though I didn't play it, is that apparently it came with a pad of paper pre-printed so you could keep track of what you were doing, just like you do in the regular game. So if you go and look at a weapon, you know that weapon was not used. You cross it off your list, and it keeps track of your list of suspects. This would be a rarity, right? To find this game in the wild with the paper and the box and all that. That would be tough.
That would be interesting to try to find.
But one thing you can do, according to the instruction booklet, which I'm thinking about trying.
Please, if you don't, I will.
I'm going to,
because I think it would be a fun
if neither one of you
thing.
do, I won't either.
Right?
Yeah. So since this
hand
game,
on Flopsy,
Oh,
hand on Flopsy. If someone on this show is going to do that,
I'll do it.
Because I really want to know what happens.
So what happened? What we're talking about?
Sorry.
What we're talking about is at the end of the instruction manual, it gives you a mail-in address, and it says to send $1.50 to Parker Brothers, and request that and that will cover shipping apparently, and they will send you another pad of paper. So if you go through all the ones they send you and you need more, for $1.50 you could send off for more. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna enclose $1.50 and and a SAISY, or a note with my address on it.
That took me a minute.
Yeah, and say, give me a pad, and I'm gonna hopefully they will send one. Hopefully someone with a sense of humor at Parker Brothers will see this and be like, hey, we got another one. Send them a case.
I'm just curious who has that P.O. box now. If
I bet it's still them.
They still have it, or
I don't know.
If someone else is going to get $1.50. That's funny too.
And if they do,
I just want to know.
If they do,
we're gonna sue the shit out of them if they don't send us a pad.
I will have.
Damn right.
If they do, I will have sent my home address to a complete stranger. So how about I send a note with our P.O. box?
There you go.
And not my home address, because I wasn't even thinking about the possibility that some rando might just have that P.O. box now.
And they're like
That's
a
how
serial
naive
killer
I am. I'm fucking
that
Gen
only
Xing
kills
it.
people who sends them $1.50.
Yeah.
What's his
In the
name from
mail.
Billy Madison? Gets it in the mail and puts on lipstick.
And then he goes, "We got
Steve
one." So yeah, I'll do that. This week I will put by the time this airs, I will have at least gotten it together. I'm going to do it.
If you change your mind, I might just do it too.
See if we can
Just
get
so
a
they're
couple.
like, what the fuck? Two people.
Tadpog Nation. Everybody, please.
Is it legal if I read off the PO? I mean, it was publicly printed in the manual, right?
It's on the website. It's on modern day Hasbro's website.
Check the show notes at tadpog.com. There'll be a link to the PDF for the clue instruction
The
manual.
official instruction manual posted at Hasbro. Okay.
We're doing a letter writing campaign.
I want him to
grassroots
send.
on this one.
I was kind of hoping for the charming result of someone at Hasbro gets it and says, "Holy shit, guys, do we have any of these? Let's send them one."
Yeah.
I think that would be super cool and charming of them.
It would, but it is Hasbro, so I would
Yeah.
not get your hopes up.
I don't want to.
You was thinking a cease and desist letter.
Yeah, we would.
We'd fire you if you worked for us.
And I'm
Give me money.
I'm sending cash
Money,
through
please.
the mail. $1.02, or
Get adjusted for inflation.
7 quarters. You know, at the United Change Bank. It's change. That's all we do.
Do a cashier's check.
Did you remember that SNL skit?
Mm-mm.
The Change Bank?
Mm-mm.
Oh, fuck. You should look that up. Change Bank on SNL. It was Smigel. He was one of the, but they're like, change is all we do.
Oh,
we can
yes.
give you a 5 and 5 singles.
Yes, yes. Now I'm like, okay, wait. Has Ian talked about this before, or have I actually seen it?
I haven't
I
talked
know. I
about it
remember
before.
what you're talking about because it is actually Robert Smigel. Like,
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah.
It's not like animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna try to get a pad, and see if we can add that to our collection of fun things.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So Clue came out for the Super Nintendo in 1992. It was published by Parker Brothers, which I think is interesting because there aren't many SNES games published by Parker Brothers. That's kind of rare in its own right.
Yeah.
This and Monopoly. It was developed by Sculptured Software. We've done a few games. We've covered a few games that they've done. It also when I was doing research on this, and I was like, okay, they also did Monopoly. I knew that, but I didn't know that Parker Brothers had an unreleased NES game that I really, really want to play. It's from 1991, an NES game titled Drax Night Out. It stars Dracula as he searches for a girl named Mina with the aid of the Reebok pump shoes.
Oh, yes. Which ties in to Wayne's World.
Yeah, totally. I want to show you the box art for Drax Night Out. I'd love to put this in the show notes too, if we could put it in there. It looks like a joke. There is an illustration of a
Holy
cartoon
shit.
Dracula wearing
Not
some
what I
very
thought.
realistic Reebok sneakers.
I was thinking more Kid Dracula and not that.
That's amazing.
I really want to. In Park, I don't know.
Fuck it, we'll do it next
You
week.
want to do it next week?
It was unreleased, so I
Oh, there's no ROM or
okay.
something.
I haven't
out
looked.
anywhere?
I've got my Steam Deck. I can see if it's in my collection of ROMs.
yeah. Let's look. If it
I'll get it.
if
Hang
it
on.
exists, I totally want to do it. But the gameplay for
Honestly,
Clue.
surprised my Steam Deck didn't get destroyed when I hit that animal tonight.
It is downloadable from WoW.
Hey, wow.
Wow, ROM.
Well, fuck, man. I don't know how complete it is, but let's. If it's complete, if it's playable, I say we do it.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, others. I see footage on YouTube playing through it.
Okay, cool.
Sweet, drags that out.
It'll be the first one. I mean, do we watch Dracula or something? I mean, I don't know. It's like it feels weird to not do a movie with it, but talk about Reeboks. Buy some Reeboks and review them.
Then we can do other prototype games too. We'll do a prototype series: Socks the Cat, California Raisins.
Boy, we've already done.
Did we do California Raisins? Okay, Socks the Cat.
I
Then
played Socks the Cat. We could definitely talk about Socks the Cat. Man, we've joked about doing Socks the Cat for a long time.
Yep.
But anyway, Clue. Those are the facts about Clue. It is Clue, the board game, adapted faithfully to the SNES.
Very faithfully.
You can play single player. You can play up to 6 players.
Pass the controller
Past
style.
the controller. The problem with doing it that way, the problem with playing Clue on the SNES with other people is that you have to.
I don't have it.
We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll buy it. I know a guy. We can buy it legally from
Yeah.
Parker Brothers.
I know Parker.
Yeah.
I know one of the brothers.
Parkers. Peter. He won't come off of those fucking pads, Clue pads, but we can get tracked.
It tracks that out.
So the way it works, if you play Clue multiplayer, in the board game Clue, everybody at the beginning of the game, everybody gets cards that only that player is supposed to see.
Right.
So the way they handle it on the Super Nintendo version,
Well, you go into the different rooms in the board game, and when you're in there, you get to look at stuff that's in the room.
I don't see. I haven't played the board game properly, probably ever.
Okay.
Oh, it's been 30 years since I've played this game.
I've recently
Absolutely.
played
Bare
it.
minimum.
So I don't. I mean, this is good that you played it recently.
So there'll
because
be like the different stuff in the different rooms.
There's
like
cards,
there's
right, in the
cards
rooms?
and stuff, and then you can look at when you go into a room, you can look at one of the things in there, and it'll let you. That's how you eliminate. Like. That's how you start to eliminate things that can't possibly be
So
in
the point of Clue
Okay.
is to guess the 3 cards in the confidential
right.
envelope in the center, right?
No.
Who did
Oh,
it,
yeah, in
where
the
they
center.
did it,
Yes.
and what they used to do it.
Right.
And that's put in an envelope at the beginning
The
of
3
the game.
cards no one has.
right.
And then as you go through, you start to you start to keep track. You mark off the stuff you've seen, so you can say, "Well, I just found Colonel Mustard. I know that it's not him." And then you can start to sort of glean who it is based on the process of elimination.
Okay,
But if
You can ask other people questions.
yes, and if
Okay.
you guess wrong, you're out. You lose.
Right.
But so at any point you can make an accusation if you think I'm just going to go for it. Like you have 2 of the 3, I'm just going to go for it. Then you can, but if you're wrong, you're out.
If you're really lucky, you could speedrun this game very quickly.
Yeah.
It works a little different on the SNES because when you go into, you have to go, and it makes sense now. You telling me because like in the SNES game, you have to go to a room, and it's like before you can.
You roll a little hand rolling dice, and you move your little marker, and
You can hold down the B button as long as you want, and the guy just makes a jerk off motion the whole time, and then you release it, and he also releases.
Super hot.
Yeah, I mean, it would work in a pinch.
if you're a hand guy,
Yeah, I mean,
if you're David Duchovny.
oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So in the SNES game, you have to go to a room, and then once you go to the room, you can make a suggestion. So you go to a room, and you're like, okay, Colonel Mustard, candlestick, and then it chooses whatever room you're in.
Right.
And then there will be a little vignette that'll show whether or not Colonel Mustard was
That
in
is
that
kinda
room.
cool.
I love
That is
that.
neat. Yeah, that is really cool.
And then if all those things match up, you'll get a whole the vignette will be complete, and you'll see Colonel Mustard pick up the candlestick and then hit Mr. Body off screen. You'll hear a
Yeah.
oof
Yeah.
thud. And like in the board game you were describing, the way you were describing it, you can make an accusation, and you only get one of those. And if you accuse the person, weapon, and room incorrectly, you're out.
Yeah. But if you're playing with multiple humans, the other humans have to not look at the screen
Right.
while you're
That's
looking.
the fatal flaw
Yeah.
to this game.
You have
Trust.
to trust that no one is going to look. It's like, okay, everybody look away so I can get my clue. And that's kind of it is. That's a bit of a bugaboo for me because it's like you can't be sure that someone's not going to just accidentally look up and see it,
Yeah.
So
It would have been cool if I was thinking if they came up with some kind of code where it's not like immediately apparent what somebody has. I don't know if that's possible or not, but I mean, there's it felt like there was no effort put into keeping it. It is straight up and it doesn't even say in the game for no one else to look.
Right.
But in the instruction manual, it's like tell the other people not to look.
right.
Yeah, there should be a countdown or
Yes,
something.
Well, and there was a meeting, and they were like, "What do we do here? If we want to do this, what do we do here?" And they're like, "We're just going to have to tell them to tell the other people not to look." And you have to trust that if you're playing
Auto
against
system.
yes, if you trust also that if you're playing against the computer, that computer is being honest and not peeking as well. But still, from what I could tell, from what I saw of it, it was pretty cool concept.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done. I mean, really, like, I started playing the game begrudgingly, and then probably once I got past the first game, it was like, okay, let's see if I can actually win a game.
There's multiple difficulty levels.
Yes, it starts on amateur and goes up to like
It's detective.
sleuth, and then gumshoe and detective.
There
detective
are
being
like
the
5
top.
or 6
Yeah,
difficulty stages.
there's quite a bit. I played on the easiest, didn't win a single match.
Right.
But I was also playing with the maximum number of players, which made it more difficult. There were several times where I knew the answer, but it's like, well, I'm 4 turns away, so
Someone's probably going to get there
get
before
it.
you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I thought the music was appropriate.
Yeah.
Made sense. I thought it looked because I got in and just kind of I fucked around with it for like 20 minutes because I didn't remember how to play Clue. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, the cutscenes are nice because I'd make a fake accusation because I'm just like, we'll see if I can guess right.
Right.
No, never did. And then, of course, they play out your accusation as a cutscene.
Yep.
And then somebody like Phoenix Wright style, there is evidence.
Right. Yeah.
That you were
Professor
wrong.
Plum shows up with his arms crossed. Yeah, I have evidence.
I have evidence.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it's funny you say Phoenix Wright because I got those vibes too.
Yep.
You know, it was almost like, wow, this is kind of like Phoenix Wright.
I could see a Phoenix Wright Clue crossover kind of thing
Yeah.
where they style it like that.
Man, just anime Clue.
Anime Clue. I'm down.
Cluedo.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the deal with Cluedo? That's like the real name of the game, right? Originally is Cluedo.
Oh,
Something
maybe.
like
I didn't
that.
know. Yeah. Heard of that, but I didn't think about that being a possibility.
There's a little history of the game, like a very brief history about how Parker Brothers bought the game
Yeah.
in the instruction manual.
About how they murdered a man and figured out how they wanted to cover it up.
Clue, fact or fiction?
Based on not real events, we promise.
Sorry, but that's kind of it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to say, but I mean, it doesn't.
good
The
for what
thing
it
I do
is.
like
Clue.
about it is that it doesn't pretend to be something it's not.
Yeah, I
it's,
liked it.
It's a good little game. And I watched a little of a.
There's no weird platform levels interjected.
Yeah. And I read the instructions when you posted them. I was just curious, you know.
I wanted to know how to play the game because,
Yeah.
like I said, we never played the board game right when I was a kid.
It's fine. I think it's a fine little game. Yeah. That's it. That's Clue.
That's Clue.
Yep.
And
See what Flopsy has to say about it.
yeah, sure. What do you guys think? Flopsy has to say. What's the rarity of this game, and what's the star value assigned to Clue?
I'm going to say that it's probably common. And I'm going to say they probably gave this one 3.5 stars.
Common 3.5.
Yeah.
See, I can't imagine it sold super well. I want to say uncommon 3 stars. I've never seen a copy in the wild.
Uncommon 3 stars. I own it, so it can't be that rare.
Yeah.
I also, because I own it, I know how much I paid for it. So there's also like and the fucking Flopsy, or not Flopsy, price charting. So it's kind of, I think this game is, man, I never saw it as a kid, but I could see Parker Brothers fucking like going all out on this. I think it's common or very common. I'll go very common just to make it interesting. Flopsy is usually pretty generous, but I don't know how they're going to feel about board
This is a
game
weird
adaptations.
one. Yeah.
I'd say 2.5 stars. Very uncommon.
Okay.
According to Flopsy, aka the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a shadowy, mysterious benefactor. Clue for the SNES.
Oh,
5 stars.
I'm getting the look.
3.5 stars.
Woo!
Okay.
Got it in one.
Big winner. Availability common.
I got both.
Yep.
Nice.
Big winner.
Very nice.
If I had a pad of Clue sheets, I would give it to you as a
give you
prize
one
for
as
getting
a
it right on the
prize.
nose. That's awesome, dude.
I do bet complete in box. I bet that is expensive.
Oh God, I can only imagine.
How much do you think it is loose?
Loose, I'd say it's probably $8.
$1.
$1, Bob. Actual retail value of Clue loose on average for the Super Nintendo, according to PriceSharing.com at the time of this recording, is $4.99.
I think you're right, Dave. I think they just probably saturated the fucking market with these. I bet they were fucking everywhere.
And it had a Genesis release too. I know it came out after the SNES. So I'm looking up right now because I am really curious how much Clue for the Super Nintendo is.
They call it Slaughterhouse on Genesis, though.
Yeah, it's weird. It's way better.
You actually see the murders.
New is $60.
Damn.
Well, that's damn near retail.
Complete. So
Hasbro's still making them.
Complete is $19.93.
Wow. Wouldn't have thought that at all. Okay.
Those can't have the pads in them. They can't.
That's going to be the selling point for me. If I want a complete in-box set of Clue, I want that pad. I want that with it,
for
that
sure.
accessory.
Definitely. It's worthless without it.
It absolutely is worth $4.99 after that.
I want to get
without
rich enough that all my scratch paper is just the pads from this game.
Hey, I know you're rich and everything, but I'm tired of wiping my ass with Clue pad sheets. It hurts.
They're so slick. I can't get clean.
Do you guys have any achievements for this game?
I do not. Unfortunately, I'm not prepared this week. I apologize.
No worries. I have a couple. My first achievement is the flames on the side of my face. In order to unlock that, I'm not doing that again. Lose a game before you can even get into a room. It's possible, and I unlocked it.
Me too.
Oh, rolled the one. Sweet. Great. Rolled another one. Okay, cool. And there's a 2. Next achievement is Frankly Scarlet, I don't give a damn.
Yes.
In order to unlock Frankly Scarlet, I don't give a damn. Lose against Scarlet as any other character and kill the power to the game during her victory speech. Because when a character accuses, or when they solve the mystery, you get this fucking like Street Fighter 2 style, like Guile won the battle. Like you get like this, and they shit talk. And like, that's one of my favorite parts of the game,
it's
honestly.
Wonderful. That's awesome.
And like, for example, Scarlet's is, well, I won. I figured it out. I cracked the case. And Colonel Mustard says, ha, victory is mine. I knew it all the time. And Mr. Green is, you never should have messed with me, kid.
Damn.
I know. Vicious. Next achievement is, so I choose to expose myself. Please, there are ladies present. In order to unlock that, you correctly accuse yourself as the murderer, which always seemed weird to me. In Clue, I couldn't, as a kid, get over. To me, it was like, it was more about who committed the murder and not like the other stuff.
The other stuff.
So I remember having like Clue anxiety because, first of all, didn't know how to play the game.
Right.
Second of all, I'm like, fuck, I hope I'm not the murderer. And this game does exist now. They have remade it. It's Among Us, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Next achievement is, okay, Chief, take him away. I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife. In order to do that, you play this game for 1 hour and then turn it off.
Nice.
Do better things.
Hell yes. I love it.
I had 2. You get nothing. Good day, sir. Make a accusation and be wrong and lose.
Yeah.
I
unlocked that.
Yep. And then my other one being communism is a red herring.
Mm-hmm.
You unlock that by playing to the very end of detective mode, like the hardest difficulty, and getting it wrong at the very, very end and losing everything.
Nice.
It's a red herring.
That was a good Tim Curry.
If you'd like, we can take a small Miss Scarlet break.
Martin Mull looks the exact same in 1985 and in Roseanne.
He does.
He's an ageless vampire.
Man, he would make a good vampire.
Yep.
I would watch that. Like a Gary Oldman style Dracula, you know? Like
I'm going to edit some of this. I didn't realize this was such a long
the whole scene.
scene.
Because that's what the monologue is so impressive, because it's so
It's
long.
so long, yeah. You could do that in speech and debate.
I killed Yvette. I hated her so much. It flames on the side of my face, heaving breaths.
All of that whole scene was built up, was listed as the Miss Scarlet scene, saying that.
She's Mrs. White.
Or Mrs. White, sorry. And then that was literally the last thing in a 2.5 minute long scene.
Hey, there was no ad, though.
And no ad.
So, hey, that was good. I like that.
No, I have premium.
Me too, bro.
I don't. I'm poor.
But I might juke that around a little later. Or not. And if so, fuck it. It's our show. We can do what we want.
That's right.
Let's talk about the Dark Tower all we want. It's our show.
That's
Yeah,
right.
in fact,
That's
let's
right.
just scrap this whole thing and start over and talk about the Dark Tower.
I got to be honest. This has been a really bad one. I think we probably should.
Yeah. What else?
Tyler,
Yes.
if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be and why?
Give it the blood down the side of his face, Mr. Bodybeard, after he is murdered.
Really murdered or pretending to be murdered?
Well, I guess it depends on the ending.
I need
He's
to do
my butler.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
The non-present in the movie Colonel Mustard monocle.
Yes.
Never
I love
saw him
this.
with one. Just like this game was not present in my life growing up because I did not know it was a thing. Never saw it.
Have you ever seen Mr. Peanut and Colonel Mustard in the same room at the same time?
or the Monopoly guy.
Fuck! There's that girl on TikTok who is going through and trying to find out what all these, what is it called? Where the different dimension, whatever that's called, where like the Mr. Peanut's monocle, not Mr. Monopoly's monocle, and the cornucopia and Fruit of the Loom.
Oh, the Mandela
the
effect?
Mandela
yeah,
effect.
thank you.
Yeah.
But she did what's really horrible is she found out how the cornucopia was part of a
Fruit of the Loom?
a rebranding effort to cover up a bunch of deaths from a chemical release that Fruit of the Loom did like in the 70s.
Oh, damn.
How would that
like
cover
been
it
like
up?
completely has been like buried. And it was like she was bringing all these internet resources up and court cases and stuff. She's like, this happened and they've buried it. And part of their rebranding effort is to get rid of the cornucopia.
Rebranding. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So I say we get in the car, we drive to Bowling Green, where the international headquarters of Fruit of the Loom are located.
What?
Storm in and demand.
It's really in Bowling Green?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's if you drive when you're driving down the interstate and you pass Bowling Green. It has their building is right next to the interstate and it says Fruit of the Loom International Headquarters.
Wow.
So I say we go in there and we demand answers.
Yep, I'm with you.
Only if we make an elaborate paper mache cornucopia, put it over one of our vehicles, drive there, get out. I'm the grapes. You guys can figure out what other fruits you are, but I'm the grapes and we show up as fruits.
I also said we fill it full of dead people and say, answer for your crimes.
I mean, we killed these, but you also killed some,
But it's an allegory. You get it.
right?
It's for protest. That means it's illegal.
It's in the Constitution. I'm going to mention that Brad from Arizona,
Yes.
he sent in a GamePro review for this game, which was actually GamePro had some good things to say about it. GamePro kind of had a tendency to have good things to say about games, and gave it overall like 4.5s and 3.5. 3.5 being in sound. Sorry, sound.
Everything I've come across has been positive about this game. And again, I think it's just because didn't try to complicate things.
Yeah.
It just made a fucking
Just a board
video
game.
game version of its board game, which is probably something that could have happened more and gotten some success. I could see Life and Scrabble and Boggle and all these games being Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, I think Scrabble had an NES game. I'm not positive.
Okay.
I remember having it on DOS, I think. God,
Yeah.
maybe I'm fucking...
Mandela effect.
Yeah. Don't wake the dragon, guys. So we're going to do Drac.
Drax Night Out.
Drax
Yeah.
Night Out. The
Let's do it.
Reebok
Yeah.
Dracula game.
Give me the ROM. Let's find the ROM. Get it to me.
All right.
I'm in. I'm down.
All right.
I like how we're just slowly branching into something that's tangential to what we've done before.
Yeah, it's great.
In a more twisting.
Yeah, no,
Twisting path.
I love it. It's organic.
Yep.
Too bad there's no movie to watch for it,
Yeah.
but that's all right.
It's going to be weird.
It will be weird, and
gonna
that's
be-
all that matters.
Get ready for a short one, folks. Might be an hour long.
I think that's it, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Think
all
so.
good. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show iTunes, not SoundCloud, not Stitcher, but on Spotify, YouTube, all over the goddamn place. Got lots of shit going on, but most importantly, there's Patreon.
Patreon.
Patreon.com/TADPOG or pisstasters.com.
Taste the piss.
Ooh, I like that one. That was a good one.
That's an extra salty one.
That's where you can go if you'd like to give us money, donate money to the show. Every little bit helps, and we're very grateful for all of our donations, all of our loyal followers and loyal donors.
Hell yes.
Hell yes. But we do have a list of people who donate $20 or more per month to the show, and these are our executive producers. I'm going to read that list now, as I do every week, and give credit where credit is due. Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, a Louisville correspondent, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, Flavatrick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage. Pinball Airplane Archmage, Chris Edler, sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Drink Smith Joey Webster, Derek Pope Sandwich, and big ups by Usurper Grimm.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Grim.
Grimm is now back up in the executive producers list with the rest. And so thank you for that. And additional thanks to Dane for being our backlog banisher and putting our show up on YouTube every week on his own time and for no money. We do not share our money with him. Sorry, Dane. That's not ever going to happen. We love you, though. And Brad from Arizona, thanks for continuing to send us fun stuff to read about the games that we cover from Old Game Pros. That's really cool.
Yep.
It's nice to have that. So I believe that's it.
Well, our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track found in the shows at tadpog.com. How you guys want to close it out?
As Miss Scarlet.
Okay. So until next time.
Tropical
Capricorn.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and is available wherever fine podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. We'll even play it on the show and respond eventually. Want to send us something? You can do that at Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Sick of us doing all the talking? You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/tadpogdiscord or tastethepiss.com. Not many things are truly free these days, but our Discord is, and we'd love to see you there. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and a link to that track can be found at the show notes at tadpog.com. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting platform. We'd really appreciate it. Attention, Dark Tower spoilers ahead.
And the way like King writes too, like if I'm not paying attention for like a second, I'll be like, because today I was driving, but it was like traffic, something like distracted me where it's like, oh, I don't want to get in an accident. And all of a sudden, Susanna didn't have her legs anymore. And I was like, how did that happen? I go back and it's like, oh, it was like 2 sentences where it's like, oh, okay, that's how I missed it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also there's so much that you have to hear that you didn't need to hear.
Because,
like I was I guess not in the mood the other day, and I was listening, and it was I'm on the beginning of Wizard and Glass still, and
you're making really good pace.
At one point, Eddie irritated me because it was like it was when they get out of Topeka and they go through the Thinny.
Okay, yeah.
And he gives them the bullets to put in their ears.
Yeah.
And he's like, Roland held out his hand with 2 of the 45 calibers in his hand and to Eddie, and then he said,
the wet ones.
Wait, I thought you said those bullets weren't any good. You said that they wouldn't fire anymore. You said that they wouldn't fire at all, probably not ever. And it just went on like that, and I'm like, bro, fucking stop. And then I'm like, wait a minute, Stephen King, dude, stop. This is why your books are so fucking long. You say too much. You got to remind the reader. This is a thing. I understand having to remind the reader of things.
Right.
This is not one of the things that was relevant and
It's weird.
Just take the fucking bullets.
Because that stood out to me too. And I rationalized it. I was like, well, it's showing the kind of person that Roland is. Like, that's kind of how I was like, because he's the kind of person who wouldn't throw those bullets out, despite the fact that they wouldn't shoot.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's the kind of person I am, because I wouldn't have thrown him out either. It made absolutely perfect sense to me that he still had those bullets.
Oh, it did to me too.
And I'm just like, and it's like, he could have even just said, "Are those the wets?" And Roland would have been like, "Yeah, I like to keep things.
Yeah,
we don't throw things away." Cool. That was it. But that shit went on too long.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, bro. Stop it. Stop. All right, pause. I'm done. I had to fucking nope out. Like, okay, something's wrong with me. I'm not in the mood for this, and I'm just going to get cynical about it. So I'm just going to stop and listen to the
How many bullets are in a case? 50? 50 bullets in a case.
Yeah. Wait, 50 bullets?
Man, I love the drawing of the
I'm
three.
at the last 30 minutes of drawing.
Oh man, that is such a good fucking book.
It's a good book.
It's a great fucking book, man, because it is like the shootout at the Leaning Tower. Everything with Eddie is fucking amazing in that book. I like the Odetta stuff. Frank kind of like
She thinks we are monsters. Honky muffas.
Yeah, I know, man. And it's got so much of that like rolling fish out of water, and that is just like the fucking best.
Tudor fish.
Right, because he is like the straightest of straight men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
the literal straight man.
so I mean, it is just like it's just all that stuff, and like it's cool seeing him like interact with New York City, and
oh yeah,
and that's going on right now, and like Toadash and the Wolves. Well, I think Wolves is really good. I'm not.
Don't say too much about Wolves because I don't remember 90% of it,
and I'm only a third of the way.
Yeah,
probably about a third of the way through. So it might get bad, but I'm really.
I remember liking it, and I remember the gist of it, but the details have long since left my memory. They've moved on. My memory has moved on. But Drawing of the Three was the tits. And I had forgotten how much I loved the Wastelands. Like, I think given I've got Wizard and Glass practically committed to memory, but The Wastelands is a fucking close second for me.
I read The Wasteland in like 2 days in high school.
It was so good.
I'm looking forward to listening to it again because I've forgotten like so much of it.
I like The
Yeah.
Wastelands. Like Lud will always like
Have a
the pubes.
special place
Yeah,
in your
I mean
heart.
I'll always remember that. And fucking Gasher.
Gasher is a fucking cunt.
Gasher, that goddamn motherfucker.
I hate that motherfucker. Like I was putting myself in a situation of thinking like I was how fucking creepy and horrifying that would be to be Jake.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that situation.
Oh, yeah.
And it was tough.
Jake is awesome.
If I
He
didn't
is
know,
awesome.
if you'd read it first, I would have thought you'd based in your Epic 6, that guy with the dual scimitars that cut off that kid's fingers.
Yeah.
I would have thought you'd based him on Gasher.
On Gasher.
Because like the way you talk about him is like, yeah, that's how I feel about that one NPC.
Yeah, Gasher is a motherfucker.
He's a fucking cunt. I
and
hate
it's
him.
it's like who do I hate more, him or Jack Moritz? And
I don't know. I don't know because I feel like Jack Mort is a piece of shit, but he went out well. You know, I like the way he went out, but I think he's just psycho. He's just a psychopath or whatever. Something's wrong with that guy. Ain't nothing wrong with Gasher. He's just a fucking. He's just a piece of shit.
Gasher is a piece
It's just
of
the
shit.
way he is, and he's okay with it. And I mean, I don't know. That's a tough call because I fucking hate the TikTok man too. And I know he's coming back. I can't remember how, but I know he comes back, and I fucking hate that guy. I hate that guy. Like I almost on an existential level, I almost hate him more than Gasher because he pretends to be something he's not, and at the end of the day, he's just as big a piece of shit as Gasher. He just tries to pretend like, to a certain extent, he tries to pretend like that's not the way he is. That he's something, that he's elevated.
Yeah,
that he's a little better.
totally.
And I fucking hate that shit.
I feel he hasn't gotten as much screen time as
Yeah.
Gasher did.
Yeah.
And I know he's coming back because you get that scene, but he hasn't come back yet.
Yeah.
For me, so I don't know what's going to happen with him in the future.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to it, I guess. You know what I mean? It's one of those where it's like I want to see what happens with him, but I'm also like dreading him coming back.
I am
'cause it's gonna
too.
be
I am
bad
too.
fucking news.
Yes. But I just finished today the part where Susan goes to visit Rhea at the very beginning of
dry
his
pussy.
tale. In her,
Honest.
God. Yeah, that was creepy as fuck too.
That's honestly everything with Rhea in Wizard and Glass, I think, is the best. I think she's the best. I think she is the best.
Well, she's the probably the most well-rounded character in that story.
I think she's the most interesting.
Yeah, the
I
most
hate
interesting.
Her. She fucking sucks.
She fucking sucks, but you're
She's not as bad
wrong.
as Cordelia. I fucking hated Cordelia. Like,
Dude,
God damn it.
I do remember how Cordelia gets it, and we're good.
I know.
You know, that keeps me going.
God, I fucking
Knowing
hate her.
knowing that situation keeps me going because yes, she is a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Like the worst. For sure. That makes like I was
Rhea's
just thinking
gross,
about
man.
it.
I
like
love it.
I hadn't really put it. Yeah, she's gross. I hadn't really put it
It's a
together.
hack.
But
Little
Susan,
hack. Yeah.
Susan is in a way sort of a handmaid in this.
Yeah.
It's like they do in Handmaid's Tale, kind of thing, where she's basically just.
Aunt Lydia.
Well, she's not Aunt Lydia. No, I'm talking about Susan
Oh.
being a handmaid because she's essentially, you know, technically
Breed mare for the old
getting
man.
together with the guy to
Jilly.
have a baby, be a Jilly. Yeah. So I didn't really put that together back in the day. Last time I read it, but
I think I would have liked Wizard and Glass a lot more if I I didn't like Susan. Like, it took a really, really, really long time. Like, it was late in the story where Susan kind of like fucking became a woman,
Rose
I
up.
guess. You
Yeah.
know? And it's like, okay, all right, fuck yeah. And then it's like, well, it's over.
She's super. She's super
Sakura
naive.
syndrome. where-
Yeah, she's super naive and like really easily talks herself into things that justifies things that she's doing. The ends justify the means, sort of thing, I guess. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Susan wasn't the most likable person in that book by any means, and it wasn't so much about the way that she and Will Dearborn were involved.
Right.
The way they felt about each other is
Right.
what meant a lot to me.
Yeah, totally.
And the way that shapes him
Yeah.
later, I get it though. Yeah, Susan's kind of a limp.
There were just so
Part
many
of it.
moments reading it was like, God damn it, Susan, like for real. Like you gotta know this is you're making another bad decision, another really bad one.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it goes like, and that goes like beyond the relationship with Roland.
Yeah, it
it's
does.
just shit where it's just like, I cannot believe you. You're too dumb to live.
Well, I recorded that. If you want, I can put a little disclaimer in front of it and make it the stinger.
I'm good with that.
Attention, Dark Tower spoilers ahead. There.
There it was.
I'll make it happen.
I just want to talk to you guys more about the Dark Tower.
We can. We can if
So
you
the
want.
stinger's over.
Yeah. No, I'm going to clip that out and put it at the beginning. So, whatever.
We should do that Gunslinger app sometime soon.
Yeah,
I'm down.
for sure.
Well, you want to talk about some Cluedo?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. We're rolling. So.
Believe it!